To start the day, and today's events are known to all of you. It has already been conveyed to all of you through electronic means. And we are going to listen the first resource person would be Mrs. Madam Rajasri ji, lead talent acquisition from TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. Let us put our hands together, welcoming her.
Good morning, everybody. I am Rajshri Parchuri from TCS campus team. So I take care of IT hiring for both AP and Telangana. And I feel this is a wonderful platform to have all the training and placement officers along with industry leaders in the same forum. So we can share our thoughts and we can also see what better we can do to the students from the industry perspective and from academia perspective as well. So today I would like to talk about a couple of things. Like yesterday, you are all part of this panel discussions wherein there are many industry leaders talking about AI, talking about quantum, talking about a lot of innovations that are going to happen in IT industry. So I would very proudly say that our TCS vision is to become the world's largest AI-led technology service company, and we are already working towards this goal. So everybody, everywhere we listen AI, 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 it is everywhere. So I would like to take this opportunity to talk about what exactly we are doing from our end to prove our vision. So I think recently, if you are following news or any social media platforms, we have conducted a AI hackathon for rural women. So these women are across India. There are 1,500 rural women with no coding language knowledge or with no education background. They in Bharat Mandapam, and they can create it. Not they can. They created campaigns. They created their own tools within 4 hours. Within 4 hours, they created their solutions as well. So if people with no education background can achieve something in 4 hours in the training program, imagine students with degrees, students with computer knowledge, coding skills, advanced technologies, what miracles they can do. So we also want to inform that now the hiring system is completely going to transform. It is nowhere a degree based hiring. So we are purely focusing on skill. So when we say skill based hiring, so there are multiple skills we already implemented in the registration portal as well, which I will talk about it a little later. So one recommendation from our end is, so this mid-level transformation, whatever we are talking about, we cannot do it through experience hiring or leadership. So the most of this part comes from campus. So it comes from trainees, it comes from freshers who are joining our organizations. So we will also want to talk about the process and hiring opportunity which we have with TCS. So I think most of you already know that this year we opened general NQT for 24, 25 and 26. So usually every year while TCS is hiring, they hire for that particular year of passing students only. But this year we came up with the opportunity for off campus and on campus together. So for this, the process is very simple. I think all of you might have received our mails for the NQT portal link. What exactly the things we are capturing is, we are capturing the student skill. So every candidate who is registering for this process have to give two skills in which he want to be interviewed. So as I said, skill-based hiring, it is, we will not just collect the skill and then make sure that everybody is going through the same interview panel. Or if a candidate is telling he is interested in VLSI, we will not put him through a coding panel to check his Java or Python skill. We will make sure only the VLSI or IOTD panel is only interviewing or assessing him based on his skill. So that is one reason we are capturing it. and we also want you to instruct the student while applying it. I think for priority NQT, most of the colleges might have already known by now what student did. They thought we are asking for certifications and they ended up giving 5 6 skills. So if the student is very excellent in Java, Python, or some other skill, he ended up giving us IOTD, VLSI, because whatever he can see in the drop down, he ended up selecting everything, so that selecting more skills might have given him more opportunity. But what exactly happened when when they are facing a panel or in the interview room, they are very nervous when the panelists started asking about how come profession tends too many skills. Then they said that the understanding level is very different. So I want to use this platform for to communicate to the student that you please go ahead and tell student put only the confident skills in the resume, because the difference which we see, there are a lot of students who mention 100 things in their resume, and if the panel is going to start questioning them, they are very nervous or they're very confident in only one thing. So why can't we encourage the student to mention only things they are confident yet? So mostly I am talking about the interview process, hiring process, registration process, because we have a very good requirement in TCS, especially for prime and digital roles. So when I talk about prime and digital, these are our highest offered CTCs. So it will be a great opportunity for student also. Rather than opportunity, I would say it will be a great motivation to candidate also to start their careers with 9 LPA, 12 LPA instead of 3.36 or 3.6, which is our ninja package ideally. So this year we want to concentrate more on prime and digital, because we really have a good what do you call requirement in the industry for 24, 25, 26. It is for all the three batches. Wherein this 24 and 25, they might be working somewhere with 0 to 2 years experience. All these people are also eligible. Their CTC will differ based on the experience. So they will also go through the same registration process. They will also go through the test process, wherein the test will be same for every skill, or it is a generalized test for every candidate. But coming to the interview part, based on the test score and based on the skill, the interview is going to happen. So that's where the skill-based hiring comes into picture. And we also see being a Hyderabad region, we have a huge number of colleges in AP and Telangana. So I would like to talk about our number statistics as well. So when we talk about registration part, we receive more than 1 lakh registrations. So in fact, overall India, Hyderabad is the only branch which receive a huge number of registrations as well. So from there to test clearance, if we see, the percentage is very less. I would say it is 70% of the students are eliminated in the test process. It's only 30% that is converted for the interview. So in this test process, I think by now all of you know we are divided into three categories: prime, digital, and ninja. So how do we decide this category for student? Based on this test score. So this test will happen in all the TCS ION centers itself, and then from there the interview process will come into picture. So this is where we are also disappointed a bit, because if I see 350 candidates who clear the test in prime, when I come to my offer conversion, it is hardly a 2 digit number. It is 50, 60, that's all. But I can also not tell that there is no talent pool in AP and Telangana. No, I cannot pass that statement, because if you see our Hackfest, Codevita, which are global contests, there are around 13 students this year who represented Hyderabad region in global platform. That means we have a very good talent pool with us. Just that student is not utilizing it. Same goes with Hackfest also. In the global platform, we have, if I have to mention the top 100 ranking, 1 to 100 ranks, we have 14 students representing from AP and Telangana itself. So, one feedback from our end is we are looking for candidates who are industry ready. We no more want to listen from the candidate that if he is doing a project, candidate should know, he should be able to articulate what exactly he has done in this project. It can be related to anything, any skill. So mostly with the certification part, there are a lot of candidates with SAP, ServiceNow, Salesforce certification. But when we put them through the interview panel, they are not confident or they are not sure on what they exactly did their project works on. So one recommendation, hands-on experience on projects or on skill will definitely give them a good opportunity in this platforms as well. So please make sure that candidates are participating in all the hackathons or coding contests, and also please make sure they are going through a mock interviews before they come and face the actual interview. We are also seeing a lot of scenarios wherein candidate is having excellent talent, good coding skill, very good, he had a good knowledge on what he has done, project work, everything, but candidate is unable to communicate or articulate it to the panelist. So that's where the candidate is losing the opportunity, and we as an industry, we are losing a candidate also. But we also want people to be very, very strong on their articulation part, knowledge part, so that it will be a good platform both for them and for as the industry for us also. So as an academia, you're the only face who can go and talk to your students. And trust me, as Venkat sir mentioned yesterday, that all the placement officers, you will always be remembered by the candidate as well. See, we as a industry, we might come, your campus might have 100 visits or 150, 200 visits based on the campus size from industry. But the student will always go back and remember their placement officer who provided them the wonderful opportunity. So, in fact, to be precise, in my case, when I pursued my graduation, I still remember my placement officer, Chandrasekhar sir. I think sir is also part of this platform today. So, I still remember my placement officer who provided me the first opportunity. So, it's always that student will also remember placement officers as a platform for them to utilize the opportunity, to utilize their skill. So, with that note, I want to end this session. So, if you have any queries related to hiring prospects or anything, we can always be in touch, and we would like to interact with you as much as possible, because, as I already mentioned, as we are face of organization, you are face of students as well. So, only through you we will understand what problems a candidate is facing or what analysis or whatever suggestion, analysis, anything you want from the industry, from TCS, we will always be there. So thank you so much for this opportunity. So any questions about this, I will be available throughout today, so we can discuss them in person. So I don't want to take much time for questionnaire and all. So that's the reason. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing valuable insights into the hiring process at TCS and also for your thoughtful suggestions to our students. Now, I request Mr. Dr. Chandrasekhar from Kotantra to share his views for today. I request Mr. Philip Samuel Babu, Head HAS SAP India, to share his views for today.
Philip Samuel Babu Garu is academic alliance heads as well as industry partnerships, working with
Madam, actually I forgot to ask one question. Most probably it will be useful for everyone. What is the test schedule and the interview schedule when you want to finish the total NQT of 2026? Can you little bit elaborate?
Sorry, I missed that point. So the registration timeline for the students to apply is March 20th, but from March 10th, which is next Wednesday, we are going to proceed with the test. So we don't want the entire registrations to be finished before we commence with the test. So the test and interview process will be happening parallelly in phases manner. So I think if you start training the students from now, we still have some 25 to 30 days to provide whatever training you are planning for the student as well. So the registration last date would be 20th March. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, our sponsors presentation and SAP Phillips Samuel Babu Gar talk will be followed. Sir is head arranged for the entire APAC, not only for India, but he is the key person for the industry tie-ups. Those who have been certified with SAP, they will be again given an opportunity to in the top corporates as well. With a big round of applause, welcome Samuel Babu Gar.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Great. Hope you had a good night yesterday. Yeah. So in the hard work, some stress relief things happen. The beautiful place, Vizag, and we also like the way the arrangements have been made by the TPO Association. Big round of applause to the TPO Association. The most important thing is that coming together, right? When there is a gap and when there is a requirement, how do you come together and learn from each other, right? We have our own perspective, like Madam from TCS was sharing her own view, the problem areas, the solution areas, and the requirement. The most important thing is that there is no unemployment situation. There is an alignment situation, right? I think most of you agree with that. And I've been with SAP for 17 years now, and I had the fortune to start this as one of the members in the higher education space for skilling. And this all happened because our partner corporates, which I will talk about, are the people who made this possible for us and set it up how the industry academy has to be benefited. 10 years before itself we started, but we came up with some of the most stringent things way of looking at it, because as an SAP, as an organization, we don't look at training as a business, but it is making the ecosystem work. At the same time, college has so much of opportunities. Today, the open world, the AI, the learning is in every tool and every space and every possible thing. What is more important is that can we have something which is more important and which can create employability. The knowledge era is okay, but employability is very important. So I'll tell you, then you can move on. No, it's okay, fine. I was just giving an introduction. So I'll get into the presentation. Maybe after that you can take questions or we can do it offline. Yeah, go to this slide. So I think from yesterday we are hearing from the best part was what the VC sir mentioned about how much he's forthcoming and willing to remove some of the curriculum and offer industry-based curriculum which can create employability. And this is not a new thing. You're not hearing it now. And I'm just setting the context. But industry post definitely, as just now TCS, our biggest partner, mentioned, saying that having industry relevant programs creates employability. And the last part I have little highlighted. This presentation I will definitely share to everybody. All of you have been here. You will get a mail from us with the details. So one of the part it says is tweaking a little bit of the curriculum. I know many of you don't have that liberty as you are not an autonomous or a university, but there are many colleges in the country and in Telangana where they run this program parallelly. Not only SAP, I'm talking about many of the industry programs. Little bit of tweaking, like the wonderful idea what he mentioned VC yesterday, having you as a board of studies, right? I'm a big believer of that. The reason being, when you interact with industry more than your academics, which is the fact, we should accept that. When you meet people from various recruitment firms, they give you a lot of input which is there available, but sometimes academics do not take it up to the next level. They feel okay, that's not required. unless that marriage happens and they listen to what industry is saying, always there will be a gap. And having a lot of information from your side also, maybe it is BOS, maybe it is that they take a view from you. I have seen a lot of institutions now, the owners and chairmen of the people where the TPOs are directly reporting to the chairmen. Fantastic move, because I think it's very important. The survival of any institution or a backbone is a placement, right? And TPO plays a very, very important role. Otherwise, there is no meaning in getting engineers and engineers out of it. State government sponsoring the engineering graduate with 65% of the people coming with sponsored, but creating an unemployment engineers is also a big problem in the society. So these are some things which are need to be structured. And in the next few slides, I talked about what we offer, how we offer, and how we have made this industry relevant and employability made it possible. I'll just talk to. Yeah, next slide, please. So this is a particularly an industry lens website, site where most of the things what we are. Next few slides which I am sharing is about the perspective what Madam was talking. Okay, very simple as that, right, from TCS. So here, if you see an ideal fresher, right, what is that with companies are looking at? Technology knowledge, business application knowledge. There are maybe some areas which is not very relevant, but an ideal fresher, there is an amount of pressure. There is an amount of expectation that if he is an engineer or management graduate, that these are some things which are the most important thing is the job ready skills, right? We talk about it. I don't know how much of career counseling do you all do, right? I visit a lot of universities across the country. There are universities which is inbuilding training and placements into lakhs. How is that it is mattering? It's all about the leadership. One man can make a change. The same thing. The leadership in one university and the placement officer have felt these are some things which are very, very important. They've taken it. You go to another institute, maybe even 5,000 budget is not available. You can't be blamed because at the end of the day, management has not thought of it right. Somewhere that balancing act, but there could be a trip fee. There'll be something which is not very relevant, but they spend, right? And you graduate them after 4 years. In the 4th year, the campus is not made. For example, I come from a middle class background. Somewhere somebody gave me a computer education and I could move. A lot of people who come from rural, I also come from nearby Chittoor one place. So a lot of people, these kids, especially the tier 2, tier 3 cities, are the kids who are betrayed compared to the city because city always has a better opportunity. And the biggest problem is a farmer's son or a village person's son never shied away from investing. For him, the biggest investment he has made is his son or his daughter. They've never shied away. But the problem is that the knowledge has never gone to them and told them what is important and what is required. And you are the biggest ambassadors. I always believe in, talking to the people who can influence, right? And always the students believe that whatever you are talking and advising, it is always the best thing to go for. So this is the industry lens point of view. If some of these skills are able to be, if you are able to build in it in curriculum, if you're able to build it in the curriculum, non-curriculum, it will take you in a long way, right? Next slide. Now, just a quickly thing, a lot of people have told about it. I've just put the perspective into the boxes. Okay, there are 3 stakeholders we are addressing end of the day. First one is the industry. Okay, the industry's requirement, anybody all sitting in the front will agree on this 2 point. Simple thing, what is everybody driving? The shareholders are driving today is cost to competency, time to competency should be 0. What the company is expecting is that I want students to know some technologies which we are in trade of and we are making business out of it. If people are able to have this competency, I don't mind taking them in any numbers. As simple as that. Because gone are the days where they had huge college setup, setup where they recruit people, months together train them, and then realize whether this person fits or not. That's the era which is already lost. And she just mentioned about TCS how it's working. Right? I will also talk to you about the TCS model which we have developed, which is most successful, one of the best organizations which have developed on this model is from TCS. I will talk about it. So the industry expectation is very simple. Cost and time to competency should be 0. If you're able to put this and make your student there, any technology will be employable. I'm not only saying SAP, any technology. The middle is the most important stakeholder, which is our student, where we are talking about differentiating. We produce lakhs of engineers, and we have the unemployment situation. And for them, every person, the biggest investment they make is the investment in education, the parents' money, right? And they want to have. And AP is the place where software need not be told. It has a legacy of Hyderabad close to so many things where every company, any company, globally, where you will find an Android there who's doing very well, right? It is a land of software which is built, and it has made it very important. So that's what we are talking about. The student and every student is not looking at today a job. It's a career. I'll give you a difference. I've met a lot of students who have joined testing companies, and they say, I'm engineer, but this college gave me a testing job, and I have no future there. I should, in MBA scenario, they say, okay, I've done my MBA in sales, they put me in credit card. I don't have to do an MBA to do a credit card. Look at the money and time I've spent. So every student and every parent is looking at a career. Career is basically, which takes you long term, that experiences adds, and you get growing, and your salary keeps going up. It is not job. So it's a career era which everybody is looking at. And the last one, you as academics, today we all saw one of the most bizarre thing. I shouldn't be quoting here what happened in the AI conference, right, with one of the university, right? It was most disgusting to see somebody making an overstatement and killing this entire thing. It is not what the way academia is present. Yesterday, sir was talking about 18,000 crores. That's the legacy of education we are talking about. So the most important thing is, how do you involve industry? How do you participate with industry? How do you collaborate and work? So academia has this thing, and today it has become a scorecard. Simple, your CET ranking or entrance ranking is rated based on the placement which comes out. That's what is very important. So having these three stakeholders always in mind, if you are able to address these stakeholders, what is there, then the placeability will never be a challenge. Any technology we are talking about here. Next slide, please. Little bit about ourselves. I don't know how many of you have heard about our company. Anybody? SAP? Backside, more important. Okay, not a problem. So SAP is the world's largest enterprise software. The ERP subject which comes in the initial 50 years before SAP started this, actually. We are a 240,000 crore company which is spread in 192 countries. In 1972, 3 engineers from IBM thought that digitizing the automation, of the factories is very important, and each of the department should communicate and have some seamless with the system. And that's how the enterprise software ERP system started. Okay, SAP is one of the leading there, and some of the credentials you see. We have about 110,000 employees. Of course, when you compare to TCS, the number of lakhs is 10x. But I'm talking about development and people who are in the product development of SAP, and the kind of partners. So 23,000 partners like TCS is what we are talking about. So here we have been a very highly legacy company. Today you talk about world biggest companies, they run on SAP. Okay, we have a saying called the best run businesses runs on SAP. So it's basically an enterprise software. It automates industry, factories, companies from a small scale industry to a large scale industry, and it automates the multiple departments. Digitization, basically, be it a banking software, be it an Indian Railways. So some of the things which does it. So there is a lot of requirement for people who knows to implement SAP along with their domain skill. So this is a little bit about our corporate. Next slide, please. So this is a saying which we say India runs on SAP. Some of the pointers: 75% of India's GDP, uses SAP system. That's quite a thing. You can't talk about it. Indian Railways using their entire. There are a lot of success stories. All this company, be it a car, automobile, milk from including Heritage to Amul India today, or every state government's milk production and milk running uses SAP as a background, including Heritage, right? And then we are talking about 18 about 20 companies which uses SAP for their day-to-day businesses. Next slide. Now, these are some of our SAP used customers globally who run using SAP for their day-to-day business. Now, just take a scenario, a company like, let's say, Coke, right? Coke is a $45 billion company globally, right? Look at the number of plants they have, bottles, recycling, quality management, disposing it to the last mile of a smallest canteen in a college. The cool drinks being made available. it requires a large system which is run by people. When it's a small system, you can run it through people. When it is a corporation like Reliance or any of these logos you see here, this is all a huge corporation, and it has to deliver quality, deliver on time, and deliver across regions. Okay, A, B, C city, and globally. That needs an enterprise level of software. All this are using. For example, the Tata Group, which is a $150 billion company, the entire Tata Group, Tata Motors, Tata Technologies, Tata Steel, Tata Tea, everything uses SAP here. Next slide, please. Now, these are some of the companies for India we are talking about, be it Mahindra's, ITC, Sun Pharma, Unilever, Toyotos, Mobile, Bajaj, Britannia, Amul. So all these companies are using SAP for their day-to-day businesses. And you can look at the kind of turnover they are in and a kind of the scale which is there. So a software which is developed to run their business on day-to-day business is what SAP does. And we are creating in the education space to create engineers and management graduates who can implement SAP and go and work in our partner ecosystem. Previously, we used to do it in our training locations. Now we have gone into the higher education where this entire things are being delivered, right? So first thing is about not only SAP, the industry academia collaboration. What it really means is running industry curriculum and industry immersion, which is very, very important. I think everybody of you agree here. This is an established fact. What is more important is, I know a lot of times we know a problem statement, we know the solution statement, but we never go in implementing. What lacks in the whole problem is the implementation, right? And we feel it is always, whenever we have seen smallest of the college, rural of the places where our corporate's favorite customer is that college, because they really mean what they want to do it. Implementation is the king. I think the state CM is one of the biggest strength of him is that implementation, right? The ideas everybody has, problem everybody knows, solution everybody. What is actually missing is that, how do you make it and go and implement? And SAP could be one of the things. We have many of the technology. I heard a lot of people yesterday, companies, that is very important. But there is also another factor which you should consider offering back to the students, which we'll talk about in the next few slides. So I'll just get into a little bit of what we offer, okay, quickly to understand. We spoke about the problem statement. We spoke about SAP's scale and how the software runs the businesses. India runs on SAP. So we are talking about a little bit of the offering about the curriculum part of it. Yeah. So first thing what we have for all the colleges which are affiliated to JNTU, okay, which are not, maybe it is autonomous and things like that, we offer this as an add-on program, right? A single certification program where the students will be able to do it in pre-final year and final year. We follow a very clear structure of sending an expert to your campus to do the training, right? There is no self-learning. There is no your own colleagues in your campus who are going to train. That's not the model we look at. So it happens in pre-final year and final year and at campus itself, okay? Irrespective. We are running one project in one of the college in this person who's sitting here who just got 40 students, who's got 30 students. We still do it because TCS has asked us to do it. So there is no volume problem, there is no location problem, but the program all happens by an industry expert coming to the campus and training according to the way exactly what the problem statement is and how we want to get them to serve. How do we do it? Just go back, sorry. Go back. So we have a LMS tool which is available on the cloud. We have an expert trainer coming to the campus. We have live server which is there, and all this training happens between 120 to 160 hours. So this is an add-on course for your pre-final year and final year students from engineering, management, and commerce. We'll talk a little bit about it more later. Next slide. And just to give you a background, all this program and curriculum, what an industry person is doing outside to become an SAP consultant, that is exactly what your students will do. There is no academic version. Any academic version, industry will not take them, right? They're not interested to have knowledge per se. They want the certification, industry certification to be there. Otherwise, no company is interested. So the curriculum, what is offered to the student is basically what the industry certification is required. This is another requirement. There's another program we started, the most premium one, 2 years before. We did a lot of research and talking to some of our partners. In fact, my great thanks to TCS, some of the Suchitran and people from campus who gave us this idea. in the problem statement of the final year, right? 7th and 8th sem, all of us know nothing much happened. 8th sem, you don't even see the student in the campus. He keeps on doing in the name of project and he's never available. So keeping the new education policy and industry immersion program, we got a graduate program launched into it. So this is one of our premium offering. I'll just give you a fast snapshot of how it looks like, right? Look at the engineering and management, pillar part of it. What we have done is we are putting SAP program starting from first semester onwards, right? We put it in curriculum. If it is autonomous, if it is non-autonomous, we can run it as a parallel course. The advantage is starting from first semester to the 3 semesters, right? What you see here, first year, second year, and third year, we give them 3 global level certificates. First is the business process certification. Second one is the backend developer for SAP. Third one is the theory hardcore application development. Now this 3 is covered. The 4th year, we want to let the student go to the internship, right? And this is a complete 7th and 8th sem. I know it's difficult. Sometimes you'll have to work out. You have VCs kind of people who are collaborating. You need to figure out. For private and deemed university and autonomous, it's much more easier. But the best part is that the 4th year, you will have your students spend it in internship, and all these internship which we are running currently. Lucky enough, it is getting paid, including companies like HCL and TCS, right? For the 1 year, even if a student is getting 15,000 rupees to 20,000 rupees per month, and by end of the 4th year, you would have got about 2.5 lakh what he's invested on the engineering. And the best part is end of the 3rd year, he's got 3 SAP global level certification. He's finished his engineering and 1 year of experience. Now, this is exactly what some of the program which runs in US and Europe. They have an industry immersion program. The moment they go to second semester, they are allowed to go to industry because they learn curriculums like that. Many of the corporates have started it. We were the earliest to do, and we have currently about 4,000 engineering students across various colleges and university doing this graduate program. A very premium program which will get a very clear outcome. And the more important is the 4th year, since they have 1 year of internship experience, 3 certification, their CTC can go up. Obviously, TCS will look at the last package of 10 to 12 lakh because they have so much of credibility coming in. So we have a program for management. We currently a little less on commerce, but engineering and management is something which is very high, and we are running this program. Companies have started recruiting them, and it's a part of the curriculum or parallel program which you can look at. This is a very, very premium program. We are very soon getting an AICTE approval also for you all to run. Already in Andhra, we have some university in Kakinada, Aditya University. We are running this program. In Hyderabad, we have Guru Nanak, we have Srinidhi University, which are some of the things across the country which we are offering, and is doing very well. And what is the best part is the industry collaboration starts from day one in the form of board of advisory. We get the industry people to be in board of studies, and they meet your student and your faculty on a regular basis and changing what is as per the industry need. This includes AI certifications of SAP. We have our own AI tool which is called Joule, which is one of the most strongest enterprise AI tool which is getting built. There is a certification for it, which is also built in it. Analytics is built in it, and some of the core certifications which we are talking about. Next slide, please. Now, the approach, little bit of time I would like to spend here. We have invented something after a long learning in this 10 years, that unless the first pillar is covered, adoption is a very important, okay? Unless you train properly the student, the success rate can never be there. A lot of times we give a content, we tell the student to learn, self-learn. A lot of times you do the trainer. If the training does not happen, there is no meaning on it. She just made a problem statement, saying that some of them are with certification, but they don't know how to open the mouth and talk about technical. It's exactly the problem we are facing. The most important thing is, unless an expert comes and trains the students, right? This is not going to take. So our compulsory model is that we follow on a TCP model where the training is instructor-led is very important. And a lot of times, I just want to give you a thing. I'm not blaming any OEMs or anything like that. There are a lot of things which even maybe SAP is also doing some small free courses and all, and making the student learn. It does not take anywhere. Okay, free course or a free learning, self-learning. We are not in the era where the students become very masters in doing their self-studies. So any program you want to adopt, my only suggestion is try and make it a complete cycle. Today, an engineering is successful because the last 4 years you're training them on in depth about the SAP, about your engineering curriculum or your MBA. So this is a model we follow, which is called training certification, which is from SAP Germany, global level certification which comes, and the last one is the most important pillar where certification placement. So placement without without knowledge is not going to make any sense. So our focus is towards TCP model, and till date, anybody here sitting, or you can normally, we'll give you the reference wherever the small program, because we are not a very affordable kind of program. It is definitely a cost, but every university which has ran has been continuously running for years, and placement has been one of the biggest strength and backbone for it. We'll talk about it in the next slides. Next slide, please. So, what are some of the key benefits of this academic alliance? We're talking about onboarding you as an academic partner. We will have a delivery partner who will be doing these courses to deliver branding, marketing support, to the extent of printing your prospectus, websites, how to launch this program. We will have a sales team working with your admission team to make this admission. So, to that extent, we work. Then industry connect. This is where guest lectures, internship, final placements, and the governance. We bring in the industry recruitment partner as part of the board of governance. It will be there, learning assets and things. So this is a key differentiating when SAP academic partnership comes in your campus. Just wanted to cover on it. Next slide. Is there a job? Is there a market for SAP? We spoke about it. Just some of the numbers here. These are global CEO talking about there, because from an on-prem, right now we are only talking about SaaS and cloud era. Every company is going to cloud technologies and implementation. That's how there is so much of implementation projects, and there is a clear requirement for how we want to, go ahead into the thing. These are some of our learning partners here. I'll take a little bit deep here and discuss about it. Some of these companies here who work here, I know Capgemini is here, TCS is here, colleagues are there, and I think Techem is also there. All these, specifically these companies, we run a hire and train placements today, right? TCS gives us a requirement of SAP, how many people they require. Last year itself, the pass out of 26 we started, and we ran this in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra a little bit, not too much, wherein which we got the requirement. We knew what technology they wanted. We trained the students inside the college. The screening happened first, and the first round of test happens, right? Because that's a test where maximum, as rightly said, I don't think it's sometimes 30% also. Some colleges, it goes below 10%, which is very surprising. I don't know why it has to be so bad, but you all can definitely work to see how to clear the first round, because that's a compliance requirement of TCS or HCL, anybody. Next comes the technology. The moment you have certification, they get excited, they want to take. But first round, nobody can do nothing about it. So here we are running all this program. Most of these companies hire and train model, where the screening will happen. There is a mail which goes to the student that you have been qualified as per your 10th, 12th, and engineering CGPA. And once you finish SAP certification, will be on. And it's nothing to do with that. It is directly connected on a hire and train. That's one model which we currently run for TCS, HCL, Capgemini, and we have started with Cognizant also. So we have about 1,600 partners globally. All these companies, how they are connected, I'll give you a background. We just spoke about those companies and partners which are using SAP to implement. For example, Tata Sons, right? When they implemented SAP, even now there are so much of implementation happening in their plant. It is anything between 3 to 6 years of time of implementation, and thousands of engineers who need to go and do this, right? Otherwise, it is very difficult. So those are the places where the people require certified engineers to go and join their company. Now, this particular slide, we are talking about a career. We spoke on job-based career, right? I'm sure many of you are here, your friends, your alumni who are there in SAP. It's one of the most strongest career. They start as a junior functional consultant in SAP language. They become consultant. They go senior principal consultant and platinum. So it is a long-term career, and SAP today in the IT industry is one of the highest paid. I'll give you some stats about the packages also, just for your quick this one. It's not overselling, but I downloaded it from some of the portals which talks about those information. Whatever I'm talking now, you can go and do an AI with chat GPT. It will tell you all this data points. Yeah, next one. Yeah, please. No, I had some slides. Sorry. So I think I don't know what is the problem. So I had the graphs of TCS, Wipro, Accenture, and everything from payscale.com. Right? We have downloaded for a fresher what is the pay package, what is the maximum package, and things like that. This presentation anyway will come to all the people in the email ID which is being shared, and we will have it shared across. So just to summarize the fact that what we are, I just want to recall is that industry and academia marriage has to happen, and that marriage has to live for a long. So adoption is very important. Otherwise, getting an MOU, signing, doing all gaga, and asking somebody to deliver is not possible. Unless the academics, unless the placement team, everybody comes together, this will not take off. We spoke about SAP, the career, the map, the offering what we have for add-on course and graduate program, and the placement, which is the most important backbone for us. We run placements, we run hire and train models, and these things will be made available. I'm available for discussion. Thanks. Thank you. Any questions we can take?
In fact, we will not have any questions because he said something. The industry of India runs on SAP, but let me correct it. Industry of the world runs on SAP. Yeah, he doesn't need introduction indeed. Now let us put our hands together, inviting the CEO of Elder Hub, Sri Ghanshyamji. Ghanshyam Shankar.
లేదు సిపిఎన్ కనెక్ట్ ఉన్నది సీట్ హెచ్డిఎంఐ కనెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది చూడు మీ దగ్గర ఇదిగోటి ఏలాంటి దగ్గర ఉంది కదా సీట్ ఉంటుంది ఒకసారి చూడు సీటు హెచ్డిఎంఐ కనెక్ట్
Sir, is hack boards available at the premises for the presentation? Your presentation is ready. Please.
This is connected.
Sir, all the sponsors, please load your presentation there at the laptop, because the connectivity, all iPads and MacBooks cannot be accessed here. Please have a presentation there. If it's possible, we'll have it. We'll start with the panel discussion of placements in skill first economy. We have our moderator who is having a vast experience of more than 2 decades from Auto Rabbit. I cordially invite Sanket sir to act as a moderator for this panel discussion. Sanket sir will be the moderator for this panel discussion. I request the first panelist, Mr. Rajkumar Satpathy Garu, to come on to the dais. We have Arup Mohanty, sir. Sir is available here. Arup Mohanty, sir, is not there. Fine. I request CH Tarish Babu Garu from P99 Soft. Kushla ma'am from 14net Technologies. Kushla ma'am. Kushala ma'am is representing APAC head for 14net Technologies. We have Saugata Sen from LIET Technology Center, Hyderabad. We have K. Sudhir Babu from Capgemini, Assistant Manager Talent Acquisition. Mr. Associate Director, sorry. We have Suresh N from keka.com. Mr. A. Bhaskar from Techno Identity. These are the panel members, and I request Sanket Sarji to take the things forward for 45 minutes.
Before starting, if we can ask the panel members to introduce themselves quickly
Fast.
about their name, fast, their name and where they are from. Once again, so that the audience can make note of it.
Myself, Bhaskar, and I'm from Techno Identity. I'm working as a recruitment manager, and since last 10 plus years into recruitment.
I know most of them from TPO family. So earlier I was in People Tech Group close to 5 years. Very recently I moved after People Tech Group. I joined in the organization called KKHR as a India TA lead, and I'm staying in Hyderabad.
Very good morning to all of you. So myself, Sri, I'm the Associate Director Talent Acquisition, Capgemini Bangalore. So I have close to 18 years of experience into talent acquisition. Earlier, I was with the product firms like Stellantis and Hyundai for more than 10 years, and recently joined the Capgemini. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be back here. My name is Akhtar. I'm from LIET Technology Center in Hyderabad.
Morning, everyone. My name is Kushala. I am the program manager for 14net Technologies. I lead the portfolios under the CSR initiative, where we train the universities, UG and PG programs, and K-12 and veterans programs, and based out of Hyderabad.
Hi, this is Harish, and I'm from P99 Soft. I have total, 20 years of experience, and I'm head of data and data practice.
Good morning. This is Raj Subhati. I'm from the Zodic Technologies. I'm co-founder of Zodic Technologies in Hyderabad. 25 years in the HR space in the IT industry, and I'm from Hyderabad. And I'm fortunate to be here this morning to be with all of you here. Look forward for Mr. Sanket's questions, and look forward.
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Sanket. I handle the global HR operations for AutoRabbit. I have nearly 20 years of experience, and I take care of the overall people operations, rather from hiring to talent management to experiences across 4 continents. So I have experience coming from India and other things. So I'll be adding those value into it, and I'll make it more simple and layman questions. So because a lot of TPOs will have a lot of questions from the HR, so it will be more like you asking questions through my space. So good. Then I think Samuel told it is more like a marriage between academicians and the industries. And if those things don't work out together, what will happen? A lot of complications. So that is exactly what is happening, but things have been shaping from what we were in campuses to what is there happening in the campus. So we will try to draw a line from the past, present, and what is going to happen in the future. So let me ask with Satish, Harish. So I just wanted to make you everyone understand when you were there in the campus, how was your campus recruitment at that point of time, comparing to the days that you're seeing when you go to the campuses now?
So just before coming here, I was like looking at, so we don't have any placement officers when we were there, when we started, about to start our careers, and we don't know whom to ask. We just, complete our study and then look for the opportunities, right? So at that time, it was like, if you're good at, any one of the, the technology, like, if you can talk about C, Java, probably some other thing. And if your communication is good, after that, okay, there will be training happening, and then where you can prove yourself, and then your job is guaranteed. Now the situation is not like that, and you have to be industry ready as everybody else is speaking. And the day one itself, okay, you have to talk about your projects, and you should not just any one of the technology. The confidence levels they need, they're looking communication, and then especially now the era is all AI. And I'm damn sure I'm not okay. I want to tell one other thing. So everybody's talking about AI. But one thing I just want to tell: see, it's a 1 in a million or 1 in a billion is one. Okay, people who are breaking the path breaking ideas or building the products actually. So we don't need to be that. I mean, if anybody is there, this we are not required here, and these placement officers are not required. Nobody else is required. But what I would suggest is whatever the tools that we have today, right? AI tools, with that, how we can improve the productivity is what one thing we need to look at it. And if you are into it, and you are hired, there is no doubt about it. So you have opportunities, and only thing is whether you are ready to take up the opportunities. Only one thing actually that we have. Yeah, that's the only thing I could see the change.
So what Tarish spoke about is going back to the traditional methodology of understanding the programming languages when we used to have. Now it is not just the programming languages, also adopting something new like AI tools into the additional information that what we can gather. It is not about developing something on that, but usage of the tools is very much important. So we also have an entrepreneur here, so I just wanted to pass it on to Raj. My question is, there are 150 TPOs here, okay? You will be having around, say, I don't know how much yearly hiring that you do, but if you need to go and figure out which are those colleges that you would love to prefer to go to, because out of 150, we can't go to all the 150. But what are those parameters and criteria that you really pick in when you start looking for a college to go and do your campus placements?
Thanks, Sanket. So I've been hiring this side of the country for quite some time, 20 plus years, ever since I started my career with Deloitte as a talent acquisition. Nothing changed, right? What changed was the demand in the marketplace, ever growing, right? As Sanket mentioned, today, if you're looking at it, what changed was training to learning. We were training earlier, now it's all about learning. So first and foremost, what is such all the TPF Consortium here is, I think you should move from training title to a learning title. Maybe you don't want a training of placement officers. You're actually, if you ask me today, I'm successful, 25 years in the industry. I was heading as I'm a vice president for an IT firm earlier, before I become an entrepreneur. I'm successful because a lot of colleges have hired and they've been successful, right? So you guys do a fantastic job. So moving from a TPO to something else, you want to bring a new title to it, because our titles also change in the industry, right? Business partners and HR partners and client partners, so on and so forth. So you are actually helping us. Forget the students part, right? You're making the train the students, right? So coming back to question of what Sanket said was, I'm having the choice to choose. What I look for is primarily is basis the industry needs, I define myself, right? People are talking about, if you're a product company, my requirements would change versus a captive versus a product versus a consulting. But fundamentals, nothing will change. Fundamentals all about language, be it Python, your Javas, etc., etc. But what matters today is, I think the industry is moving towards not software programmers, but business programmers. I think we've heard about now. We talked about, our friends talked about things in AI. Yesterday we heard a couple of speakers talk about. It's all about domain. It's all about business, healthcare domain, your insurance domain, your supply chain, your e-commerce. I think today, if you're in Hyderabad, saw a couple of colleges, they started CS and BS. Because technology is there in the web, but the business, the domain knowledge, right? Healthcare processes, your insurance process, and all of that, right? So I would probably know institutions spending more time on the soft skill side of the business. Today, that's what biggest gap in the in Telugu states, primarily Sanket. I've been hiring, especially this side of the city, country. I've been hiring, and still is a gap there, right? The students should be. It's like this. I'll take a minute if you don't mind. When the student starts in the first year itself, right? It's like, a mother or a woman conceives, right? And she has a baby in her womb, but she doesn't see, but she's preparing herself to receive the baby after 9 months. So you guys have somebody starting on the day one. You have to make sure you have a foresight that there is a demand for every student joining the engineering college. There are plenty of opportunities, but you say we block ourselves. We're saying, oh, last year we had 70%, placements. So that the terminology what you guys have to use has to change, and that's how you actually convert yourself into 100% placements, etc., etc. So coming back, definitely soft skills play a vital role today going forward, and more on the business and domain is what we would consider. Thank you.
Thank you. What I liked is something that you said, training to learning is something that you need to adapt. I'll again ask you a follow-up question if you don't mind. But you diplomatically played the card. You did not tell me what exactly the criteria that you will pick among 150 people. If I need to ask you to pick one or two to recruit your 15 people, how will you choose them?
Yeah, I've been coming to this college, especially Lenny, for about 10 plus years here. Every year I pick up a few folks from this college, and I do a campus pool. I haven't gone to one college per se, but you have campus pool. But certainly, yes, what I look at is the industry and academy collaboration, right? They can just seek information from the industry. Of course, they are the masters, not we. I'm a master in my hiring for my institute, for my organization. But what they know better things, how they should train their students. And I told you, there's no training at all in the industry, my friends. It's all about learning, right? It's all about learning. And I mean, if last year in my earlier company I was talking about this, it's okay. It's about acceleration, right? It's no more trainings at all. It's all about acceleration. Today in the schools they're teaching Python. The schools are teaching languages. You don't have to train them now. There's no more training. They're not trainable. They have to accelerate. So they start the day one in your college. You make sure they accelerate, right? That's the most key of the next generation hiring, whatever.
Thank you. Kushala, what is it something that you get into a college and first see from the students per se? So what is that you try to evaluate that?
Well, actually, when I approach the college, I don't look at the students in the first place. I look at the faculties. I look at the management's openness to adapt to the change and bring the real industry needs into the system, basically. So once that post is passed, then we go to the students. So, I mean, if it has to be looking at the students, no, I don't first look at the students at all.
Okay, again, a layman question. You need to make me understand. How do you evaluate the faculties and the management?
Okay, so there are a couple of parameters that they want to be industry ready. The adaptability is important. So there are colleges which actually come to the forum, connect, and then they miss out. But there are some colleges which actually come back, and then they're very serious, rigorous follow-ups they do, and then they literally want to embed these kind of things, bring new things to their students, and think differently. So that's a main aspect. That's actually seen in the management's ideology, basically. So probably LIET is one of that, I can say. Yeah.
Hopefully it's because you're accommodating us. So.
No, not to the fact that they are accommodating. But okay, I can just give you an example. we have been associating with APTPO Consortium for the last 3 years. I mean, not as a sponsor or nothing, but most of them actually know me. I'm a familiar face. But Lendi College has implemented a center of excellence of Fortinet, and they have made students study our certification programs by including the training and certification program as part of their curriculum. So that makes it change. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like a collaborative approach right from a management level and then brought it down to the students.
So if I hear it clearly, even what Raj and Kushal is talking about, all the TPOs need to understand one thing. It is a reference that you bring into a personal touch with the HRs. Try to put your foot forward in telling how is your college unique comparing to other colleges. What is that additional effort that you have done for the students to upscale them and upgrade them to the next level? The kind of career challenging growth plans that you have put across in your academicians, not just going by the curriculum which is being given to you by the universities. So I think those are some things which I can really put it across here. So whether you've been associated with mass hiring across India. So you have gone through the traditional methodology of using white paper and pen towards the proctored versions of the test. So a lot of people spoke about the certification. Kushal also spoke about the certifications and all. With this AI world which is coming up, where we have a lot of AI tools which can even mask the proctored versions, how are these certifications really valid? And how do you really assess those kinds of things?
I think that's a very valid question, Sanket. And from past experiences, what we have seen is earlier, if you got a certification, it means you're good. But now, thanks, or I don't know, no thanks to the AI, even if you have the certification, I'm not so sure that even for doctors and lawyers also, you can be certified, thanks to Munna Bhai MBBS. So what we do is, of course, unfortunately, certification is the gateway to the next level. To move to the next level, you need to have a certification. That's a piece of paper. But a certification in itself does not guarantee you a job. It only means you are eligible to appear for the process. So then we actually do a intensive in-house or in-person screening process, where we give them on the spot challenges, on the spot problem, and they have to come up with a solution. I'll give you one simple example. I used to go to colleges in Kolhapur, Pune, and used to do a GD, group discussion for the engineering students. And I used to think on the spot a topic, and I used to give them two choices. I said, you got a chance to select one other topic. Simple, on the spot. And they used to struggle. And I said, this is just a discussion. I can tell you how's the weather today. You just need to speak. Sir, actually, we are given some topics by the college management to prepare for GD. So we have never been asked, they are not ready to use their own brain. They have been spoon-fed. So that is where AI and all, it is actually stopping us from using our own brain. Today, a student will go to an AI and say, create a PowerPoint presentation or create a thesis for me. But they will not use the prompt engineering and say, create a thesis or a PowerPoint presentation with these points or these parameters. So that prompt engineering, using your own inputs and then asking the AI to refine it, that's the ask of the moment.
Thanks, Avida. Why did I ask this question? Because it relates to all the HR, and whenever we sit on the panel discussion like this, it is not just that you learn, we also learn quite a lot of things for our own problems. Last year, 2025, my company did a pan-India level campus hiring, that is off-campus hiring. We just had 10 positions, but we got 33,000 applicants coming for us. Now the challenge is, how are we going to handle this 33,000? The only reason why we went pan-India is because AutoRapid, and we have a culture where we believe the talent also lies in the tier 2, tier 3 colleges where we don't even hear about them. If a salary is of a definite number, why don't we open it for the market and see through the talent which is at the remote areas that we have not even heard about the institute? 33,000, how do we handle it? We did a we used a Naukri to select online assessment proctored version. Out of 33,000, nearly 29,000 students took the test. And trust me, more than 60% of the students in a proctored version had scored 100 out of 100. I mean, it is surprising. If I ask my own technical people to take the same test, the results could be different, right? So we did not have any other go. We did another something called as we create problems. There is another proctored version who claim themselves again much better than DoSelect. Management was convinced. We went to the we create problems, thinking that they'll give a solution to us. But trust me, the results was not different. The only thing that I added in this test is I had asked them to put one simple essay, which was in English. I asked them to please explain, please let us know what do you think about AutoRabbit's hiring practice. Trust me, again, there were around, we had shortlisted around 12,000 people. Out of 12,000 retest, nearly around 800 people had got 100 out of 100. Now, as an HR, we have our own curious minds. I picked up the phone, whoever scored 100. I started to go with not the technical problems. I went to the communication problem. I just started to read whatever they had written. One guy picked up the call. So the first line what he had written was, I resonate with the feelings of AutoRabbit's hiring practice. Again, curious mind. I asked him, what do you mean by resonate? 2 seconds, he cut the call. 100 out of 100, he had written, and he got 100. He had got 20 out of 20 in the English essay, and he was not able to tell me one meaning of one word. Why I'm trying to tell this is it's not about the certifications or something we need to do. Irrespective of the AI, what Tarish was talking about is all the human leadership, the human connectivity will always solve the problems, whatever we are trying to say. So AI tools can help us, but human intervention is only the results that we can achieve for. So Capgemini, every weekend I see Capgemini doing interviews, right? Whether it is in-house or out-house. I just wanted to understand that kind of a hiring practice that you bring in. What are the core three, essential characters? Forget about the skills. Essential characters that you look in a student that you feel, irrespective of his percentage, because nowadays the CGPA score is nothing less than 9.0 to 8.5. And trust me, in my HR interviews, the first word, even before they ask the name, please don't tell me your CGPA. It is going to feel me ashamed. I can't take the test further. So I don't ask anyone CGPAs. But how do you really assess the character when you sit for an interview?
Yeah, very good question. So we take an average in a year of close to 15,000 hires per year for across the campus sites, including the engineering school and B school hiring. So it's in a traditional format where every HR or the personnel in the industry looks for. We don't hire for a candidate for skills. We hire for attitude. So it is about the scope of learning that the student comes in, and everybody has an aspiration and wants to compare or benchmark with certain kind of yardsticks, so that he has a comparison that, okay, one guy is earning some X amount and Y amount, and then there is larger scope. And earlier, I think there was a discussion about the testing platform or the network support, XYZ. So, but it is all about the competency of an individual. So there is talents. Everybody has a talent, but the talents will be polished and fine-tuned with the skills. So we categorize competencies into 4 broadly. One is technical competency, functional competency, behavioral competency, and cognitive competency. Majorly, this combination of 4 will happen with any candidate who wants to apply. And what is, as I said, one of the things like job versus career. So he's looking for a job or he's looking for a career. So it is like X company. It's not like only Capgemini is hiring in the industry. Most of the companies are hiring. Why is choosing us? On what basis? What is the rationale towards it? And what is an encouraging factor for him to get associate? Because right nowadays, if you go in HR, so how long you want to get associate with the company or XYZ? Said like I work for 2 years, then I go for MS or I am done. So they have a short-term vision, so that this is my kind of a launching pad. So I want to do the launching pad for 2 years, get the things done, and then I will elevate. So companies is not here for running the charity show, right? So they have the investment on the things and we look for ROI. So yeah, companies also investing, return on investment of the candidate. So those are the areas where we look at the candidate prospects and the characteristics aspects, that whether he is adaptable. And other thing is the deployability index. So what is the deployment of the particular candidate, whether he can be deployed from day one and being productive from day one. We don't want to invest like the traditional methodologies of 6 months of classroom training and 6 months of industry orientation of the on-the-job training, and then 1 year then put into process. Gone are those days. So there is severe cost cutting, and the margin is next bit. And BUs wants a person who can be deployed in the project from day one, irrespective of the experience.
I know cost cutting as Capgemini works with financials. Obviously, you look for the cost optimizations. But again, Sudhir, I had a follow-up, same thing, right?
Yes.
Again, a layman question here.
Please.
Don't take me wrong.
No worries.
Students, you said, two things you said, okay? We look for an attitude.
Yes.
Now, there will be a guy who will say, why I need to hire you? Because I have a good attitude. Now, what do you mean by attitude?
So attitude is more a kind of a generic stuff where we can correlate, but it differs subjective to the kind of expectation with respect to the project that he or she is associated. So let's take, I'm looking for a domain specific hiring. So whether he's passionate enough towards that domain, let's take healthcare as an example. So there is certain kind of drug which has been invested and there is an R&D has to be known and then application has to be built as an example. So during, I think in February, we had just a meet in Pune. So one of the head of the vertical has given the example. So they are dealing with one of the healthcare vertical, which is developing the drugs for this Covaxin stuff. And during the core COVID, they have to come to office and then develop on the application and get for the SOP. In that, a normal guy who's not passionate enough to do the work, he said, how I cannot come, this is the scenario, and how I will come and join the progress and to get the things done. Where it has to be passionate, even that he might be technically good. But the passion towards the job in that role, what is the valuation he brings onto the table, how long he's associated with that, with the passion and with the longer tenure. So that matters a lot. So during his characteristics in the assessment, what kind of a person he is, his orientation.
Okay, thank you, Sudhir. Suresh, the billion-funded company, KK is doing extremely good in terms of conducting a lot of HR activities, setting up of HR conferences. So you have something called ATS, that is applicant tracking system, right? So can you give more insights in terms of that is targeted more towards the corporates? Is KK doing something for the campus recruitment and also for the students?
Yeah. Before answering this question, I just joined in the KK last month. It's very, I can say, very short to answer this question. But definitely, there is a lot of scope in KKHR because it's an organization where they are seeing enterprise related, they're more focusing on corporate related. They need more of MBA graduates, especially from BBMs. Even for Tier 1 colleges also they're planning. But before addressing this question, I would like to thanks to all the TPOs because it's my 4th year with the Association of Telangana as well as AP TPOs. So I have a 6 years of association earlier with the People Tech Group. I mainly focus rural engineering colleges like from Aitam to Madanapalli engineering colleges. In Hyderabad, there's a Keethams to there's a college called Ramareddy Engineering College, which is a very small college. So all the TPOs here, let them do research in the first year itself, resources like candidates. And second point, you are coming to Hyderabad all the way from Srikakulam or Madanapalli or XYZ locations. Let them, even students also can do basic research, what kind of companies they want to do. Most of the TPOs, they're going always top 10 X companies. They're focusing on high budgeted CDC companies. How many people know there's a company called OPS company in Hyderabad or Control S company in Hyderabad? Okay, I'm seeing only 3-4. So we have 150 or we have Tamil Nadu Association, even I can see Maharashtra, Odisha TPOs also. Let them focus small companies. KKHR 10 years back, it was a small startup company. Darwin Box, it was a small startup company. Focusing on startup companies. When I used to call from People Tech Group, people used to smile, people used to call what kind of company it is, where is its company located. When I was in TCS, I used to go to Madurai Cameras, which is in Madurai, there's a college, Tyagaraja Engineering College, I'm extremely sorry, and Crescent Engineering College. When I joined in Accenture, I used to go to VIT, I used to go to SRM. When I joined in People Tech Group, I was the first person where I used to target for rural engineering colleges. I'm requesting from here all the other HRs also, please help to rural engineering colleges like Lindy, all some XYZ colleges, which will get extremely good talent from regional engineering colleges and give opportunities. They will extremely happy for 2 years bond or 3 years bond. If you provide even 3 lakhs initially, also they'll extremely happy. I have very good association. And coming back to your question, KK company, yes, initially they are focusing for MBA graduates. They need junior resources also, but I'm just joined. Maybe I'll answer next event. Definitely, I'll answer.
I'll help you in this. I think Keka, I think it is an Hyderabad-based product development company. I've been using Keka for past 8 years. I've used multiple HRMS tools, and I think most of our suggestions have gone as a product roadmap to Keka, I can tell you. So I think they're extremely growing at this point of time. So though they're predominantly focusing on the sales, there is a lot of technical work Vijay and Venu is doing from the founder space. I think you can reach out to them. If I'm correct, I mean, Suresh, right?
Yeah, Vijay is a Telugu person.
Yeah.
He's from Vijay Elementary. He is a person from Vijayawada. He was NRI written. He written from US. And he was the person who started RAM Group, which started in JNTU Hyderabad. And later it became as a People Tech Group. After that, he moved to KKHR, now one of the successful company in HRMS. It's a big competitor for ADP or a big competitor for other companies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bhaskar? So I just wanted to understand, a lot of students have this kind of idea called as dream job, right? I mean, I'm coming back to what Sudhir was talking about. When you come, people say, you know, I want to, when they talk to the TPOs, they always say, this is what is my dream job company. But as soon as they pass out of the campus, they don't look for the dream job. What they look is only a job. So whether it is Capgemini or some other company does not matter. Why are you here in the HR interview? Because I love this company. You ask more about that information, they stammer a lot, right? So do you really believe this kind of a concept, or you believe in a concept that a guy should build up such a competence that he should not focus on a dream job as such, but a dream company should be able to come pick him up?
So definitely this dream thing might work, but candidate should be having, in the beginning of the career only, they should be having clarity. It's not about dream company or dream salary or not. They should be focusing on dream work. Maybe that kind of approach if they are taking, obviously companies or, like everything will follow later. So it's always ideal to have some, focusing on what problem they are going to solve, what kind of job, what technical core job they are going to get. So if they focus more on in that aspect, so definitely it might be, landing at the correct area will be good, actually.
Now, again, we had Samuel talking from SAP, we had TCS colleague talking about, doing certifications and the kind of implants that they do for the campuses, right? So they know about the colleges, they know about the companies and all. So how do they really, the TPOs or the institutes, really ask these people to focus on a particular domain, like a ERP domain in SAP, right? How do they really push these students, saying that this is one area that you can really grow up? Now I'm also coming from another ERP competitor company based, which is more into Salesforce. Now Salesforce is again taking over the ERP world like anything. So there might be a couple of days where SAP has a different functionality and Salesforce comes in. So a lot of tier 2 and tier 3 colleges does not even have such kind of facility that they can really talk about the domain specific. Because when you get more inclined towards a domain, then you will be able to get into that kind of jobs which you are really focusing upon. So how do you really help TPOs to concentrate on that?
So I think definitely that's a valid point. So here TPOs and colleges also need to be very much upgraded in the especially type 2, type 3 areas. And why? Because even few faculty members at those colleges also not aware about the recent trending, whatever it is happening in few areas. So that part, if like management is focusing to solve in the faculty area, so they should be the one who is guiding the students, because few students will be always brighter. They will pick up the own area, which area they wanted to grow up in the future. And all. But few, definitely it's faculty or TPOs are the one, like who will just go up with the, like this area is going to coming in the next year, few years and all. So these kind of knowledge, if you are sharing to the students and if we make them understand on these areas, so that might be, like it can solve in the few areas.
Okay, great. Arup, this question is for you. Before I give the pass on the questions, can you introduce yourself to the?
So hello everyone. I'm Arup Mohanty. Actually, I'm working in Oracle Corporation for almost like 22 years now. So basically, predominantly, I'm just looking into the era of manually. The things are changed from the products shifting to automation, manual to automation. Now, autonomous is our main focus. Now in database, basically, it is supports on the autonomous from end-to-end solution it provides. So current stack, what we are actually delivering as a to the client and to the industry is like across from all the domain, basically healthcare, insurance, or whatever we name it. Actually, Oracle delivers all the product from ERP, HCM, and like after the acquisition of the PeopleSoft to CBL to BA. So from starting from the FMW to Fusion Apps, like that's the entire focus now shifting to AI. So all the product readiness and the industry is more into the product side, and they want to leverage that entire product stack to the AI stack.
I think when we started our career, people were talking, in mid of the career, people were talking about PeopleSoft HRM. You need to do something like this. You'll get a better job, get certified in PeopleSoft HRM and all. But I've seen Oracle scaling up, getting acquired acquiring more of other things and then going ahead. So when you go to campuses, right? It's the same campus and you have lot of students. But for some students, we have a limited salary range. Say I gave around 6 lakhs. For a few people, suddenly we raise the bar to 8 lakhs. Some person gets a salary of 15 lakhs. It's the same batch, same institute. What really matters and differs? Because a lot of TPOs and people like me would also like to understand this analogy. Though I know the answer, but it is good for others to know this too.
Yeah, tier one, actually there is a different structure of the compensation that comes as part of the tier one institute, and that's true. Even the candidate who is hired, they won't stay for a long time because we have a retention policy to keep them for a period of to give some extra compensation and some different shares value so that they can stay in a company for longer term. So currently, what is the plan is to now move into tier 2 and tier 3. The college like Lendi, even I would say to the TPOs, like we need to focus in more the product readiness and the campus readiness, where actually the student can focus on the product, shifting to the different stack. Like currently, we are into different the way that things are changing. The AI definitely rule the game for a longer period of time, right? So that way, we definitely need TPO's help to understand how the product readiness or industry readiness, so that it can adapt to the students. Yeah.
Okay. Now Saugata is sitting in the center.
Yeah.
So I'll come back right into the center. So if I need to ask you, Saugata, in a candidate, in a bunch of 50 people that you evaluate, right? You also try to give one person based on the merit that he brings in. How do you do an assessment in a quick junction that you decide, okay, this guy deserves at a 6 lakh bracket and other guy at a 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs bracket? How do you really redefine in the quick movement of a HR decision?
Okay, so by the time they come for HR discussion, they've already been pre-slotted in the 6 lakhs or 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs. For example, if somebody is coming at a 6 lakhs, I want to go to the next level of 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs, there will be usually an extra round.
Can you are able to hear Saugata?
Hello, testing. So there will be an additional coding test, there will be additional technical round. If they clear that, then only move to the next line. Then only will come. But what happens? Usually the people who are moving to the next level, it means they have some X factor which they differentiated from the rest of the batch. That is what we look for. If you ask a student in a batch, in the initial pre-placement talk, if I ask them how many of you are looking for 25 lakhs job, 40 lakhs job, many of them will be putting their hands up. Only 10% or 15% will be saying, okay, no, I am okay for a 4 lakhs or a 6 lakhs job. Now, if I ask them, those who put their hands up for the 25 lakhs or the 40 lakhs job, what is the X factor which you have? What is the extra thing which you have, which your other friends don't have, which will make you ready for a 25 lakhs job? Because a company is giving you a 25 lakhs job, they will make you do a 2 crores of work. Are you good enough to do a 2 crores work? What is the skill you bring to the table? So that is the way, what is the thought, what is the confidence level, as you were saying, what attitude, what is the approach towards the problem that makes us think, okay, this candidate has got a potential to be a successful.
Great, thanks, Saugata. I would love to bring a question to all the TPOs here. I think anyone can answer this. As you heard, quite a lot of people talking about how things are happening at the HR front. So it is again a two-way, right? How are the institutes, according to your review, ready for starting a very startup ecosystem? How many of you have started a startup ecosystem in your own institutes? What I meant by startup ecosystem is you do quite a lot of projects, right? I mean, final year guys do quite a lot of projects. How many projects are production ready? Is it just at the idea phase, or if some amount of mentoring, coaching from the industry can become a product, production ready projects? Do you even look into those kind of aspects as an institutes or the TPOs or the faculties? Yeah, I was going to differ from the incubation center. Why I'm telling you this, why IIT Chennai has been completely different from an Ahmedabad university. There are already universities in India which have already started to invest on the students' production unit within their own campus. That means there is a small set of area which is given as a startup where people are already employed. They get around stipend of 8,000 to 10,000. They go and do a production ready, which can really go and start working on the sales and marketing, like what Keka is doing in terms of MBA college students getting a benefit, digital marketing, people getting a focus on digital selling of the same products. So I think this is something that you can really focus on adding to the incubation labs that we all are talking about. Just a thought on it, put it across to your institute management and see how you can create it, because it creates a entrepreneurship at your own grassroots level, which can be upgraded to the next thing. Kushala, do you want to add something if you would love to build something on a startup ecosystem, not just asking, TPOs or the institutes to focus only on the placement side, but also focusing more on the entrepreneurial side where they can go back to their own college and recruit more people, because alumni are the first set of people who know the references of the college, how they behave, credentials of your faculties and the management. So they are the one who carry as a brand ambassadors.
Yeah, definitely. So I would like to emphasize on 2 points here. One is Sanket was mentioning about dream job. So how do really we know that a student is actually aspiring to have or land in a dream job? Do we do that kind of real assessments within the campus when they are currently doing their 3rd years or 4th years? Neither students have that clarity, nor as faculties. I think, I don't know the exact perspective, but there is somewhere a gap where the students actually communicate to the faculty saying, this is what I want to learn, this is what I want to go, and then do a backward calculation, come and learn that point, and then land up in a dream job. It is not happening. We are in a rat race where we always go towards the placements at the end of the semesters of third and fourth years, and whatever is coming our way, we are trying to pick up. That's the current scenario. But if you see, yesterday I was part of the Thai chapter Vizag, which happened in Geethams. There are beautiful students who actually came as entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs. They came up with some couple of good ideas where they were looking forward for venture capitalists or some support ecosystem from their colleges. So that kind of thought process, are we actually providing it in the college infrastructure along with the curriculum that we are teaching? If there is a gap, then why don't we try to address that? That is first question. And when you asked me about what do you see in a student, I said no, we don't look at all anything on the student perspective, because from Fortinet per se or any OEM or a product based company, we don't look as placements as a main thing. We want technology, skilling. That is important because tomorrow these guys go into the field, they work on our products, and then they build their own ecosystem. Definitely, that kind of skill comes when they dirty their hands. And unless and until they work on the technical aspects, practically making their technology, putting into use, they will not able to get the confidence what industry needs. You know, ERPs and all these are part and parcel of our life. Going forward, like you're being acquainted with the ecosystem. Product companies are not that, right? So that's the reason you see lot of companies, a lot of product organizations. You don't have an exact replica of those product organizations. So Juniper, for example, Mr. Pradeep Sindhu was there, who was the founder of that organization, who created an MX router in the first place. He was an Indian, but later globally there was no other new budding star who came up with something similar to that kind, right? Same way, maybe we need to educate them, we need to give them ample opportunity to create, co-create, understand the existing ecosystem. For all that to be happening, the industry should actually collaborate in the means of collaboration, be part and parcel of the syllabus. And what you said, I saw that line in your slide where industry, it is not just industry immersion. Yeah. So some of the universities actually immerse these corporate trainings, certifications into the syllabus. That is equally important because whatever they learn within these 4 years of engineering is what they will make them or break them. That's what I see.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, so as I spoke initially, right, we still handhold the students from the day one. You look at the IITs and Andhra, as you said, right? They do the assignment. It's not conceptual learning for the students. It's more assignment in the IITs and NITs, right? Here, what we do is we continue to train them. So we should move from training to learning. Let the kids learn by themselves. That's when they become entrepreneurs. Like today, if you look at the market, it's moving towards intrapreneurs, right? You figure out okay. So we start moving from training to learning in the college itself, from the day one. When we move from training to learning, you make the child learn by himself because a lot of applications, a lot of tools, a lot of wealth of information in the web itself. You don't need to code now. There's no code, low code concepts. You don't have to code. What you need to do is ensure the kid's learnability is higher. So when his learnability is higher, his growability is much more higher. Number one. And then if you look at I'm a consultant right now, I'm moving out from corporate, right? So for my customers, what I tell them is, if you're a product company, you have to develop intrapreneurs. You figure out 2-3 folks who are extremely good in algorithms, problem solving, etc. Right? Put them in, give them a fund of 10,000 or 1 lakh, and say, you guys build something on your own and come back to me, right? So that's when they have the whole thought process change. And then I want to just add here is I believe in 2 things. I'll tell you, this is my perspective. IT has 2. 1, problem solving, 2, troubleshooting. That's it. Problem solving more on the development side. Again, my perspective, I know you have solid technology geeks here. As a HR, I would tell everybody in my sessions, problem solving is more on the development side. Troubleshooting is more on the infrastructure side, be it your cloud, your databases, etc., right? If you look at in the last year, I was hiring folks from the campuses, right? Nobody knows. They talk about cloud, but they know what is databases, what, etc., right? That's how you actually start helping them to learn and grow. Over to you.
Thanks a lot. I mean, I think we had already covered nearly 40 minutes of the panel discussion. I know everyone got just one simple question to answer. So before I conclude, I have only a rapid fire kind of a thing. Anyone who has got a mic, you can pick up and answer this. So, no mic? I think I can. You can do a move the mic kind of a thing.
I just have a question.
Please.
Earlier you asked for the entrepreneurship.
Please.
Actually. So my name is Dr. Ganesh Krish. I'm president of Tamil Nadu Training and Placement Officer Association and director in BSI Consortium of University in Chennai. So I just want to add on the entrepreneurship. So when because as a placement officer, we cannot place all the students. So when it's come to the third year, we'll give the opportunity to the students to choose any career like higher education or entrepreneurship. Inside in our universities, we have 140 startups here because we make as a not only startups, we can make as a pattern. So when the product is ready, so we'll ask our students to file the patents and all that. We'll give you full support of this. That's the one because you said when you started the discussion, we cannot match each other because we have a different vision.
Yes.
And corporate is a different vision. We are a non-profit. You are a profit company. It's all. It's not a we cannot match. But somewhere we have to connect actually. As an institute, there is no gap. When I was studying, still I'm hearing the news. There is a gap between industry and institute. We cannot fill the gaps. That's another ticket also we are going to be discussed on.
Correct.
So somewhere we have to connect. That's the important thing. Because as an institute or any institution, it's work like an industry. There is no gap. If you go to any US universities or any abroad university, the 9 months salary it's provided by the universities, 3 months from the industry. So now our AICT just started for the professor on practice, POP. Actually now any industry people they can come and teach our kids.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of happening.
Yes.
Even entrepreneurship, there is earlier it's come under the placement division. Now the MHRD, Minister of Human Resource, they started as a innovation council. So every university is a mandatory. It's they have to start a startup division in their university because the norms of the NRF or NAC or anything NBA. That's very important for all the institutions now. So all the institutions they are just following on that. All the internship also it's going to the startup and giving some seed funds to the students, trial and error. They can just because they're safe. They're inside the campus. They are safe playing the business model and all that. So it's all happening in these things. Thank you so much. It's wonderful discussions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Why I brought this up is the same thing because all of the HRs who are sitting over here, apart from the colleagues who are sitting, they'll also say the same thing. The kind of resumes and the kind of requests for the internships that we get on a daily basis is huge. But that problem can be solved internally when you start your own startups. Because live projects are something that we all look into. Like Saugata was talking about, how do you really differentiate between 2 or 3 candidates? What is that one salary bracket wherein 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs differ? It is because of the live project a person is able to put it across. The confidence level of a person who has really did a project is immense threshold comparing to the people who have not done. So that it really makes a difference for us to guess. I really appreciate all of you for taking your time and coming over and making this panel discussion a really thoughtful one. I'm sorry that I was not able to push in more questions to you because of the time limit, but I really appreciate for all your thoughts. And I think you are all available for the people if they have any questions further after the session. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I request Principal Sir to come and felicitate the panelist. Vijay Mati sir. Satratam. 5 minutes. Before, sir, 1 minute. Sir, you have your slide there. Let us have the presentation from the elders of the CEO because he has to rush to the airport immediately. After that, we have diamond sponsors, gold sponsors, and in Araku we have silver sponsors. If time permits, we have silver sponsors. Presentation also will happen here.
Mr. Ghanshyam, welcome, sir.
I request diamond and gold sponsors to load their presentations and get ready.
వాట్సాప్ ఏది ఓపెన్ చేయి వాట్సాప్ ఫోల్డర్ ఏది ఇది సార్దా ఇప్పుడు అదే ఇప్పుడు వాట్సాప్ ఏది ఇది తమన్ వాట్సాప్ ఓపెన్ చేశాను కదా వెబ్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేశాను ఆఫ్ చేసాను మైక్స్ సరే ఇది ఒకసారి స్క్రీన్ ఆఫ్ చేయి తీసి అన్నీ ఉంచాను కదా ఒక్క నిమిషం ఓకే 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 చెక్ చేద్దాం 1 minute సార్ అది రాలేదు ఆయన చేసిన మళ్ళీ
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me begin with a personal story. So, 25 years ago, I was this person who entered the graduation, no confidence, not sure if I'll be able to talk to people, if I'll be able to maybe converse with anyone, not sure what kind of job I'm going to get. And 4 years later, by the time I finished my graduation, I was a person who could spark any kind of conversation in the group, any kind of conversation in the room. I could talk to strangers, I could talk to others easily. What changed in these 5 years or these 4 years is being part of a program. Being part of a program. I was part of one of the first ever student-led programs at that point of time, and that entire program changed the way how I was behaving with people. So just to give you an instance, when I went to the interview for my first job, I was done with my first 2 rounds. Then I was in the technical round, and I was sure that I made some mistakes, and there were some answers I was not able to tell. And I was the one in the room who asked whenever the interviewer gave me an opportunity, if you have any questions, the question I asked is, after how long can I reapply for this job? I said I did not answer a few questions, and I'm sure which is important. So how long, after how many days or how many months can I reapply for this job? Luckily, I got the job, and when I spoke to the person who interviewed me, what he said, the reason for choosing me is that the confidence I gave with which I went, the confidence that I didn't know something and I acknowledged that had changed, and that was the one which got me a job. So why I'm talking about all these things is at EdderHub, this is what we do. We are here not to replace the TPOs or not to say that we can change the TPOs, but we are here to simplify your role. We are here to work with the TPOs. So EdderHub, if I have to ask you one question, I'll give you a 10-second break. If I have to ask you, what is one thing you wish every student who walked into your placement office has before a placement season? Can you think of 1 or 2 things which comes to your mind? Because those are the things where EdderHub can help you with. We are a company who started in 2018, so we are an 8-year-old company, but the team comes with more than 25 years of experience in the academia space, with industry, with corporates. We have been working with the colleges, we have been working with the companies, we have helped companies with executing the programs. There are more than 2 lakh students still in the past 8 years we have worked with, many of them go on to be very successful in the careers they are doing. So these are some of the people who work with. We work with companies like Google, UiPath. We also work on programs with the Stanford T-School, Microsoft, Intel. We do international program managements for college students. That's the University Innovation Fellows. That was a program out of the T-School, and that is something which we have executed. So what we do, and before we get what we do, this is I think all the HRs here, all the TPOs here agree to this. What students often lack is confident communication skills. I think even a lot of people in the panel spoke about it. They were talking about attitude, they were talking about soft skills. Structured problem solving ability. Third one is industry recognized certifications. Some of them said certifications are necessary, some of them said certifications are not necessary, but we will talk more about that. And finally, what they lack is a creative and design thinking mindset. But what Interested expects on the other side, they want people with clear communication, who are innovative, solution-oriented and industry-oriented. Then they have certifications because anyone can immediately deploy them to direct projects. And finally, they should be adaptable to teams. They should be empathetic. They should be able to easily understand the problems, and they should be team players. So these are some of the offerings at EdlerHub. The first and foremost is soft skill. So many of them think soft skill is just about language, but it is not just about language. We focus on 3 main things for soft skill. That is communication and confidence. That's the first. Then we also help people understand teamwork, how they can work in teams, and we encourage, we identify students who have the capability and encourage them take up leadership positions in the college itself. And finally, we help them to understand about emotional intelligence. When I say emotional intelligence, it is also about the students knowing about themselves. I think one of the panel members asked, when you say how many people want 25 lakh, everyone raises the hand, but not everyone has the capability. So same way, the key differentiation is the emotional awareness or the self-awareness. People who understand their skills, who know what they are capable of, they only will be able to raise hands when some suitable opportunity comes up. The second offering what we have is design thinking workshop. So what is design thinking? I think some of you here might have heard for some people it might be new. Design thinking is a problem solving ability where you're putting your user or your people whom you're building your product in the center of the entire process and solving for them. So we help students learn about design thinking workshops. So these are the different 5 phases: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And this is a problem. The design thinking as a process is something which top companies use. Like you talk about Microsoft, UiPath, Google, many design schools or many design institutions. So this design is not about just UX and UI. Anything you are working, any problem you're solving can go through design thinking. So that's one of the basic things which we feel the students need to understand. Again, entrepreneurship was something which many of the panelists spoke about as well, and entrepreneurship is something which design thinking can help as well. The third offering what we are giving with the for the college students are the professional certifications. We work with a lot of companies. There are a lot of other partners who came and spoke about industry certification. Even we do the same at an affordable cost. We give the on-campus online trainings and also ensure that students can take professional certifications for minimal cost. So this is made very affordable through our partnerships with various companies. And fourth one is hackathon. So if someone goes through the first 3 offerings, like if students are technically ready, if students have the skills to understand the problem and solve the problems, and again with soft skills, right? The hackathons would be the best place where they will be able to implement or try out whatever they have learned. And as a company, we help the colleges to create hackathons. Colleges might ask us like, what is different? Like hackathons is something which your students are doing in your own campus. But where we bring in the difference is we get industry mentors, we get people from industry for jury. At the same time, we identify the problems which are community driven. So everyone asks for industry projects, but we say community projects. Like in your local surroundings, in the college surroundings, there will be a lot of needs, which we help the students to identify and take it up. And not just that, we support the students beyond the hackathon as well. Like once you have your finalists, your winners, we don't stop at that point. We help the students to take these projects to the industry, like make it live, like market, like commercialize it and make money out of it as well. And finally, one of our key offerings is program management for our academia sector. So in the first slide, I showed you some of the companies we work with. Those are the companies with whom we work on our customized programs for students and customized programs for faculty members. So there are a lot of programs which they have in mind. We are the ones who can plan it, who execute it end to end. We reach out to the colleges, we reach out to faculty members, we talk to the students, we identify the best students, and through their journey through these programs, we kind of handhold them to ensure that they are set up for success. So why should TPOs trust us? Because there are a lot of companies who are doing that. Why Edler Hub? I would say these are the 4 key differentiate. Like if we are working on a customized program for your campus, it is custom made for you. We don't have saying that, okay, this program has worked in college ABC, the same will work for you. We work with you, we understand your needs, and we can create customized programs for you. We handle the heavy lifting. Like all that you need to do is you need to get started working with us. We will do all the work possible for you to ensure your students are set up for success. We take care of content, we take care of facilitation, and we also take care of the assessments end to end. Credibility wise, we are working with some of the industry giants. So if you have to go back and talk to your management about us, the companies we work with gives you all the credibility. And finally, affordable. So many of the programs what we are working, like the programs which are offered by the college companies, we generally take it to the students for free. But if it is about certifications and any other custom programs also, that is made very affordable so many students can participate. In a simplest way, like we don't want to get into MOUs, we don't want to get into the whole process. Signing up with or working with us is simple. Just connect with us. We are outside in the booth. Me and my colleagues, we are here. you can connect with us. We can start working on understanding your needs, and then we'll co-create like together. It's not that we'll say, I'll tell you what to do, you please do it, but we rather will believe in working together. We'll collaborate together, come up with something which is suitable for your college. In a summing, like to sum up the entire this entire like activities, what we do, these are the 5 things which we offer for the colleges and college students and faculty members: soft skills training, design thinking workshop, professional certification as an affordable cost. We can manage hackathons for you, and finally the program management, where we get the programs to you, to your students and your faculty members. Let's together walk for the extra mile to ensure that your students are set up for success. Here is a QR code. Please scan the QR code. We have a small sign-up form. Please join the community, and we'll be happy to accommodate you in any of our upcoming programs. And as a one of the programs which we are currently working is a UiPath student program. So actually the application is over, but as an extension or as a bonus offer for all the TPOs here, if you join us today, we'll ensure that your students' applications are considered for this cycle which is happening right now, and the new set of ambassadors will be announced next month. So please join, please come by to our booth. We are happy to connect with you. We are happy to talk. And if we know some of the faculties who are coming to Araku as well, we will be there. We can connect. And to the industry colleagues as well, we are happy to collaborate with you. Let's connect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. One small felicitation. We have Satish Patnaik, sir, Head Alliances of Tech Mahindra, who wants to have a short talk with you. He wants to have an industry institute collaboration working for last 2 decades. He wants to give problems from the industry to academia. Let us solve the problems and to the real-time exposure of the students. In this regard, I welcome with a big round of applause Satish Patnaik, sir.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm in between you and your lunch. I'm in between you and your trip to Araku. And I'm in between me and my trip to the airport. So I'll be very short and crisp. A lot has been spoken in the last 1.5 days that we've been here. And I don't think I can add anything from a content standpoint when it comes to all the ideas that were floated around. Quickly to introduce myself, I am Satish Patnaik. I am the Vice President and Global Head for Partner Ecosystem and Alliances for Tech Mahindra. I'm based out of Bangalore, and my job is to create an ecosystem for organizations like Tech Mahindra to support our customers globally. And we work in 90 countries, and I always look for partners around the world whom I can work with. So what is it that I can contribute to the team here? I was thinking about it. So last evening, there was a great dinner that was hosted, and I saw the energy of the team. So I thought there should be a certain perspective that should be different from what you already know or already have heard from the other panelists here today. One of the key things that all of us currently understand and are seeing around the world is uncertainty. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you agree? There's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the way Mr. Trump is beating the world down and others are joining the bandwagon or opposing it, right? So a lot of uncertainty is happening. Organizations around the world are also facing the turmoil of those, the impact of those uncertainties. So I thought there is a certain perspective that
I should bring in, which organizations are very strategically thinking these days, and how should this team align to that strategy? Because my job is to build alliances, right? So if you see the slide here, just one slide that I'm showing, put it on full mode, please. And this is not something which I have made. I can openly say this is a slide from a report by Deloitte, which was launched, in January, where clearly the chief strategy officer of an organization, his role has become a nightmare right now. Anyone getting into a CSO role, it's a nightmare for him, because whatever strategies you're putting in place in the corporate world, it is getting challenged, right? So from that perspective, I just thought of bringing these point of views. Okay, where's the slide? Yeah, it's coming. Okay. So there are two questions that Deloitte asked about more than 120 CSOs across the big organizations in India, and the question was, what forces are reshaping organizational priorities for the next year? And how are CSOs translating these pressures into strategic priorities? These are the two questions that were asked to the CSOs. Very interesting data points. So I thought of sharing that quickly and then see how this team can really align to that with the C-level of organizations, right? So for the first question, what forces are reshaping organizations' priorities for the next year, which is 2026, 2027? 95% of the CSOs said competitive dynamics. What does this mean? What is competitive dynamics? Now, a lot of other panelists and speakers in this 1.5 days spoke about how cloud is changing the game, how AI is changing the game, how solutions are changing the game. So there is competition, and every day something new comes up. So it is a nightmare for a CSO to put a strategy in place and see it fail the next day morning because somebody else has already beaten your strategy. So how is it that organizations need to prioritize on their strategies becomes one of the key areas of CSO's priorities. AI and technology disruption, no brainer. We have spoken about it already. So that's something which is again very clear focus area. Macro volatility. When you say macro volatility, it is not your internal country's micro volatilities. It is what is happening from outside in, right? The global pressures are changing the dynamics. Those are the top three areas. Now, with those, customer and demand uncertainty, geopolitical and regulatory shifts, talent and workforce transformation. See, from a CSO standpoint, talent and workforce transformation got about 85% weightage. Right? 85% of the CSO said that is a big challenge, and it is. That is where I think this team comes into play. When we go to the other side of the table, how are CSOs translating these pressures into strategic priorities? 59% of them said reshaping growth focus. Reshaping growth focus, what does it mean? It's a mindset change. We have always been in this structured approach of, okay, I'll go to college, I'll study, I'll do this, and then I will get a job, and then I will contribute XYZ of my capability to the organization. That is changing. That is absolutely changing, because when we are seeing youngsters coming onto the table, what we are looking at is how growth focused are you, right? I mean, and it is in real. I think all of you would see that difference in the way the recruiters are hiring from corporates these days. They would want to see a kid who is growth focused, who is more aligned towards the new technologies or aligned towards the new business problems, issues that are happening. So growth mindset is something which I think if we are able to develop within our ecosystem or within our universities and educational institutions, I think that will really help. Protecting and expanding margins is another big focus, because like our elders said, when there is war, buy gold, right? Or bury gold somewhere, keep it safe. So I think that is coming back in reality now. It is really coming back again, because people really want to protect their margins or grow their margins in this volatility. And investing in AI to drive enterprise value. Again, no-brainer. We have spoken about it. I won't go deeper into that. So with this perspective, I just thought, if we as people who are sitting in this room, if all of us start looking at helping our kids, just look at your own house. I mean, look at your own kids. They're also going to some college or studying somewhere and doing the same courses which most of the educational institutions are providing. Finding a real world business problem is a challenge today. Industries, while they come and collaborate, they would definitely not give you a full picture of the actual industry problem that they're trying to solve for their customers, because it may lead to some kind of IP infringement or legalities which corporates are not really comfortable providing. Professor of practice is one of the framework the government of India put in just recently, but again, it is very new. People are not very comfortable even today. People from the corporates are not very clear or comfortable about how to really go and contribute. Where are the boundaries that I need to draw before I engage with an educational institution? There are gray areas. So all these things are still in flux. So if we really have to help our students, our children to really, design for the persistent volatility, I think it is important that we go back to our homes, look at our children and give them some real world business problems to solve. And educational institutions, if you are able to look at those business problems and support your kids to solve those problems and go back to their parents and say, okay, this is what you gave me. I went back to my college. These are the solutions that I've come back with. Tell me if it works. And for all you know, this can be integrated back to the corporate CSR fundings and taken to actual MVPs and product into the market, right? So I just wanted to leave you guys with that thought. I hope I made sense. And thank you for the opportunity, all organizers. Thank you for inviting me here. And I'm very happy. I was very happy to be here in the last 1.5 years. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And sir is very positive in giving the problem solution for Industry Academia Connect. Sir is available at the lunch. Those PPOs who wants to connect for Academic Alliance, right person is here. He wants to give the industry problems to you, solve it, and the ecosystem should develop. End of the day, that will be targeted to the placements as well.
Clearly, sir was not listening when I was talking. I may not be able to give the industry problem. I'll give you something around that. Yeah, sorry, sir.
Because there are few flights scheduled. Sorry for the inconvenience for this. We have our code man, the sponsor who have recently opened our branch in Visakhapatnam. Yesterday they announced for all the colleges of Andhra Pradesh who can register now, there will be a 3-day technical session free of cost, including the travel and accommodation on Python and Java or in data structures will be given by the code man faculty of Visakhapatnam. I have Krishna Menon sir, who has to take the things forward for 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I will not go very deep into it because we all discussed about the problem statement. Everybody discussed about the problem statement, and everyone knows what is the problem statement as far as the institutions are concerned. What is lacking behind for the students in getting good placements in the organizations. As far as HRs are concerned, they also mentioned about what is required, and I would agree that training in technology, training in soft skills, preparing them for the interview, all this is good enough. But how are we doing it? How are we talked about problem statement. Did anybody discuss about solution statement actually? Did anybody give a solution statement for that? Right? So I would say from my personal perspective, from my experience of all these years, I would say that we should term The word actually, as instead of training, now you should shift towards mentoring. Actually, see, mentorship is very important. Then you call them as instead of training. Training is done for technical purposes. Training is done for your soft skills and all that. But what the students today, this generation, requires is mentorship. Actually, the students should be guided by the TPOs or the faculties in the institutions, prepare them in such a way that they are groomed from the beginning, from the first year onwards till till they graduate and prepare themselves for the job. So mentorship is very important, and the faculties of the institutions and as well as the TPOs here should take a big role in this. An important role in this and ensure that. Now for this, the reason why I said about mentorship is Consortium, which is a well-known company. It's quite popular in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, and all that, has focused mostly on mentorship till to ensure that the students get placed. Now this Consortium started about in 2018 with a very simple, right? You can say around 25 students with a 1,000 SFT area. Today we are around 6,000 plus students are being trained in 16 centers, campuses of our own. So apart from that, last year we did, till up to last year we have done about 4,000 plus placements across the country. And the HRs in most of the organizations have identified the quality of our students, and they have come to our centers and observed the kind of training and the mentorship what we are doing for the students, because they are being trained in the colleges till graduation, but after that we take care of them and we do the mentorship. Now apart from our own campuses of about 16 across Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, and all that, we have again due to demand, or rather from interest from other states, we have gone to, now we are already entered into Rajasthan, Orissa, Maharashtra, and abroad from international universities like from Nigeria, Uzbekistan, places we have not thought of earlier, Dubai, as well as from Saudi Arabia. We have very good responses from there, and we have already started working with them. So you can understand where our expertise and our focus is on totally into grooming the students, ensure that they are placed. Now most of the HRs, as they have said about the number of students who apply for a placement drive, say more in 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, and very few students get selected. The reason, like yesterday with the panel discussions also, we said the interviewer takes just about 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes to judge a student and understand his requirement. This is where the problem is, because the students are not trained in building their confidence level for appearing for such kind of a test. They may be technically sound in the school, college, the institutions also. They may be very good at appearing for a mock interview and all that, but when they go in front of an HR interviewers, they panic, or they the words don't come out. For this, there are various ways of training them. Give them practical problems, solving the problems, and we do a lot of these coding problems. We ask the students to do it on a paper, not on a laptop or a system. We make them do it on a paper and pen. We ask them to do it on a paper and pen, because today's students are very smart. You ask them to do a problem statement and you ask them to do a coding, they go to ChatGPT immediately. They say, okay. They don't even think twice on their own. So we ask them. In fact, some of the students, I've seen that they go for the interviews or online, they do the interviews. They come out with the same kind of a reputation that they go use ChatGPT or AI tools to ensure that the coding is, they try to convince the HR and all that. That is not required. So we take care, we, do a lot of kind of a mentoring activity, individual. Basically, we handle the students. Now we do a B2B activity also, like we go to the institutions, we go there, some of the big institutions, but we are tied up with the SRM University, we are doing with the Malaradi University, we are doing with DOI Patel International University. There are our clients which we are, trying to ensure that maximum placements takes place, or whether basically a career guidance, as well as ensure that they are properly groomed. So in fact, I would request all the institutions as TPOs and all that to suggest your institutions to take kind of a free demo sessions for 2 or 3 days from us, which will give you an indication that what we are trying to do is totally different from what others are trying to do. We have an edge on as far as the placement, placing the students are concerned, or making them job ready. With this, I would like to conclude because we have to take a flight also. Okay. Thank you so much, and I thank the AP TPO Association for giving us this opportunity here. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I request Ramaraj Garu to be on the stage to felicitate our program, because he is our next last speaker to give a gnan on the recruitment solution architect, system architect of TCS.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know I'm standing before you and lunch, so I will not take much of your time. I just wanted to share a few of the thoughts on how we can bridge the gap between academia and IT industry that we have. So basically, I am associated with this kind of an event since last 10 years or so. What I basically notice is there is a lot of shift that is happening in terms of the kind of hiring that is happening. So back then, when we got recruited just by our degrees that we had. Then the focus shift to resume-based hiring. Then the focus shift to different skill-based hiring. Now the focus is shifting towards portfolio-based hiring. So whenever industries are hiring, they are hiring candidates who have hands-on skills on any of the technologies that they would like to recruit. When I say that portfolio hiring, it's like what is that you have done in your last 4 years apart from the regular curriculum that you have done. So be it hackathons that you are conducting in your colleges, or any other ideathons that you are conducting, would definitely help you out in ensuring that the students would come up to the speed, up to the level of what the industry needs. So that is very important. You should emphasize that students are being hired for these skills rather than what the degrees that they possess. So that is very important. I want all the TPOs here to emphasize that with your students, because that is the key thing that the industries are looking for. So another point that I would like to emphasize is I am very happy to see this AP consortium being formed, because when colleges are competing with each other in terms of number of placements, this is the right forum where you can definitely build some and definitely add value to the students, and you can collaborate with each other, get the best out of the students that you have, and you should be able to increase the skills level of the students, thereby helping the industry. And third point that I would like to talk about is the curriculum that you have. So there are a lot of curriculum that you see which is outdated, which is not being used by the industry. So ensure that, most of your colleges are autonomous colleges, ensure that you revisit the curriculum every 2 years at least. So that is very much important, because we all know how the curriculum of the engineering students are today. So that is very important in terms of rechanging that, like the industry experts help, or you might have in BOS the industry expert available. Try to leverage the skills and try to give what industry is looking for the students during the curriculum, so that they don't have to learn outside when they pass out from the degree. So these 3 points I would like to emphasize, that all the TPOs would take care of these points and ensure that you inculcate in your respective engineering colleges. And we see that when we go next year, we see that some improvement happening in terms of the gap that we are seeing between the skills and the academic and the expectation from the IT industry. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity.
I request the Dean Placements, VR Siddhartha University, K. Srinivas Garu, to come and felicitate our TCS guest. Request Fourth Andhra person to officially get the presentation. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Our gifting sponsor and the silver sponsor, who is along with the Triple C, who is at the forefront from all our editions of CDP, with the support of Fourth Andhra, we are able to have a continuous launch of the registration kits for last 2 years. I request the representative of Fourth Andhra to quickly present about their servicings to the TPUs. Request all the sponsors to load the presentation and get it ready, because we are running short of time.
5409. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry if I am disturbing your break time and all the stuff. I'll take only 5 minutes and 3 small points. I know every one of you are more aware of Fourth Andhra, but I'll be able to explain you very small things. And first of all, my name is Amitesh. I'm representing on behalf of Fourth Andhra Tech Solutions. And today's more generic topic. Everyone do know what is AI doing in the world. So we have also got some AI scenarios into the platform instead of typing. So some of our competitors are saying like they have to start writing on paper first of all. Code. End of the day, whatever I write on paper, it should be monitored through some system, right? So that is the main agenda of Fourth Andhra since beginning. Coding should not be happening on notebooks. Coding should be happening on PCs. And because of AI and all the tools, we might be seeing all the copy-paste things are coming very handy. For that, we have also incorporated some Sense AI kind of thing. Fourth Andhra built its own Sense AI, which will help students to understand how to write the code. Since AIs are giving you the solutions, we have restricted that giving solution also. This AI will be helping students to understand how to write the code instead of copying the code. So this is one major enhancement in Fourth Andhra, and also we have incorporated more AI things inside their coding languages. And not only previous questions which are appeared in the companies, we have also built some scenario-based questions which will help students to understand from the scratch level. So as we are talking in front of TPOs, I have only one suggestion for everyone is we are talking about the training and placement happening in third year. We always suggest from the scratch. Scratch in the sense first day of their semesters, they have to start working on their basic skills, because after learning some coding in the basic level, they can start developing something like auto-generated code that will help them a lot. This is there is a small PPT which will give you a glimpse of what is this Sense AI, and you will be able to understand all this stuff with the help of that Sense AI. Okay, so we have also deployed some training programs. As every one of you might be knowing, these trainings are happening according to the generations. Now we have more trending things happening in the training division also, including competitive coding topics, full stack developments, and all this stuff. Please do give us some time, even if it is not today. Reach out to us. We are here to help you out. It's not about doing any business with the colleges. It's always making sure our students get educated, more towards coding, because even if it is a mechanical, civil or ECE or non-CS background, they need to have one coding language very much precisely known. That is the reason we always request to make sure that your students get educated on one programming language at least. Thank you.
Shan. I request our senior most placement officer of Andhra Pradesh placement officer, our governing body member, Dr. Delhi Babu from Mohan Babu University to command the dais. Vijay Marti Babu Garu and all the core committee of APTPO Consortium, the governing body, are requested to come onto the dais. This is something special for us. There are a lot of brainstorming happening where the venue has been to be hosted, because we connect every month. Dr. Jagdish, the secretary, is also requested on the dais. We have multiple options to going to Tirupati, host in Tirupati or in Anantapur and all those things, but end of the day we landed in Vizag, the third time in Vizag, the destination city, and every placement officer is happy to visit Vizag with only the support of the management of Lendi College, who has generously accepted our invitation to host this event in Lendi Institute of Technology with a standing ovation. Please give a big round of applause to the management of Lendi Institute of Technology for future all endeavors of APTPO Consortium to be a part of the Vizag city itself. Thank you very much. I request our Vice Chairman Garu to come onto the dais to offer our felicitations from our core committee team. It's of all of a single family, sir. No Lendi, no APTP. It's all are working together for the progress. Music, please. I have seen, sir, for the last 3 days, continuously in the campus, monitoring each and every aspect for their wonderful hospitality and extraordinary food arrangements that what we have made. Sir has personally involved in each and every aspect. Make this event a grand success. I request Prakash also to join the stage, please. Easy. I request our Secretary Sir of Lendi College to offer our felicitation from the core team with your unwavering support for the APTPO Consortium. Yes. For the seamless operations of the entire CDP today. Thank you, sir. The brain behind all these approvals and always forefront, please go ahead. We are always said, I request our principal of Lendi College to offer our felicitations from the APTPO Consortium.
Thank you, Principal Sir.
Last but not the least, the hero of this event, the host college director placement, G. Prakash Babu Garu. Please.
Big round of applause, please.
No, I request the management
The
also
man
to join.
behind the screen.
I request the management also to join and felicitate sir. We made him to work hard these 5 days, day and night.
The acceptance of chair. We would be we would be loving to offer a wonderful best of luck to Mr. Prakash Babu, who has become a hero over these 4-5 days. In fact, we'll be very happy. We'll be very happy to have Mr. Prakash Babu with us in our Indian Institute for the past many years, who has been putting wonderful effort. And thanks to have the consortium also has given wider opportunity for the institute as well as for the placement cell. We're all very happy. Thank you so much for this interesting felicitation and to us.
I request the management to stay on the line because the support of Suman TV, which is having 6 crore subscribers on social media, with unwavering support of Suman sir, who is also hailed from my native place, Nellore. He is always at the forefront to initiate the things. I have the Vizag representative, Mr. Amar, to come onto the dais, who is our media partner, Suman TV, to take that offerings of the felicitations from the management. CV card is there on the stage. Please, sir, Chaitanya Vati, sir, please come onto the dais for the next presentation. Chaitanya Vati, who is well known as CV, who know it is related to the APTPO Consortium. CV means curriculum vitae, which is also his name, who has guided lakhs of students and make employable with all his efforts, who is also a continuous supporter of APTPO Consortium, who is our diamond sponsor. There are 5 to 6 people. The first mail comes from APTPO. We are here to support you to take that initiative forwards, in which one among them is CV Corp Chaitanya Vati. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, I think many people know me here. So just want to make it very clear. So CV Corp is a very simple training institute. We don't want to give any fancy names to that. So what we do, we take freshers and then we train them for 6-7 months at our office. It's like completely morning 8:30 to 5:30 training program completely. We train them and then we place them, as simple as that. So one thing what I really noticed with APTPO Consortium the last few years is, so somehow the other way they are trying their level best to educate all the fellow TPOs across different parts of AP. So there are few TPOs who are well equipped with all the knowledge whatever they need, and there are few people who actually need a lot of knowledge. So the last 2 days session we have got a lot of things. So one thing I just want to give you a basic thing to all the TPOs here is, there are many technologies in the market, but not all are relevant to freshers. So people talk about a lot of new technologies, new trending ways, and I have seen in many forums where some or the other way people are kind of discouraging, don't teach coding, coding is outdated, it's all about AI part, blah, blah, blah. So before you believe anything, I always say, remember one thing, what is the interview process in any company? So always make sure that we need to train the students as per the industry requirements, like what is covered in first round, second round, third round, fourth round, whatever it is. And always make sure that student is well equipped with the logical knowledge and aptitude part and then coding part. It's not about just by having a problem statement directly. So one thing about CV Corp,
I thank all the TPOs here. So we started about 11 years back. So today I can proudly say we have no marketing team, no telecallers, nothing. It's all about students kind of word of mouth. So I have close to 2,000 students currently operating in Hyderabad. We are close to 7 different floors and around 14 classrooms, what we have currently now. So what I have noticed is if we are giving the student enough knowledge and right training and right opportunities, people do get placed very easily. Recently, about few months back, the company called Cubic Transportation Systems, they came to our campus. They have hired about 98 freshers with around 8.5 lakhs package. So it's not about the market is not great. It's like market is there. The only thing is companies need always, I can say, trained freshers. So Sanket is here. Hi. So one of our civic student got selected in auto rabbit also. So it was a very tough competition, but somehow he was able to crack it. So I know the process. It was very heavy, but we were keep telling him continuously, don't give up, don't give up. Finally, he cracked it. So one thing is very simple. Fresher always has to be strong with the fundamentals first, then talk about all the so-called trendy things. So that's about my information here. I wish all the best to all the TPOs who came all the way to gain some knowledge here. Hope you have gained something, but don't get misleaded. Not every tech stack is relevant for freshers. So we are placement representatives who are representing freshers, not the experienced people. So whatever knowledge you gained here today, the last 2 days, make sure take only those points which are relevant to freshers. That will definitely help you. And thank you so much. I always say like my name is CV. I deal with CVs and I'm from CV Corp. Like curriculum vitae, Chaitanya vitae, matching. To be brief to the new people here, I started my career as a HR. So I worked with Oracle for about 5 years, then with IBM, then few startups, and I started my company about 11 years back. So we work with startups a lot. So there is one of my students from batch 18th batch. Today now we are about 253 batch. He started his own company called Low Code Labs, which is a low coding platform. So he has about close to 100 plus people, and out of them 90 are from CV Corp itself. And we have new startups. Okay. I am alumnus of Mohan Babu University. So he was my TP when I was studying the college. Thank you. So there are few startups who generally come to CV Corp. They incubate their startup at CV Corp. We run their payroll for about 6-7 months in first initial stage. Then the company setup, everything is done. Then they go to the company space directly. So startups are one big factor here. As the market completely changing from on campus to off campus, so being TPOs, we need to always make sure that we know that we can't place everyone in the on-campus interviews because companies, for example, you know, few HRs are very close to you. So they might have given you some number this year. Next year, they might say, I'm really sorry, I have no approvals. The reason is, one about few years back, it was very relevant. Now it's almost like every company says, I don't have a clarity about how many people I might need next year. I can have a clarity of next 3 months how many people I need. So there is a lot of trends changing completely. So do some research that might help you a lot. And with this, I thank you all the TPOs here for inviting us. Thank you, sir. And thank you, guys. Thank you.
The last diamond sponsor, XLR representative, are requested to come onto the dais. XLR, if someone is here. Right. Probably we'll have it on Araku itself because these sponsors will travel. Don't worry, we have one more half-day session with Dr. Badram and Pandey Garu from both will be coming. We have from 9 to 12 session which is happening. Now I request the main need of the hour, coach chef, which is the need of the hour of the coach chef, who is also the partner with the first time with APTP Consortium. Over to you, sir, for another 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Kiran, representing Coach. Right. So all this while I was thinking hard how to impress all the TPOs here, seeing so much presentation, etc. So I prepared my presentation, etc. But I think it's better to recall from the previous panel discussion of the HRs, right? Just to highlight on the few points that you have said. That the critical point being CGPAs are not again well recommended by the HRs. They don't want to listen about that. And something the college or the companies evaluate is that what initiative have you taken as a college to patch up with the current scenario? How is your startup ecosystem readiness, etc., right? Now, with all this part, what Consortium as a company we have to offer you is that all this. Let's more focus on how ready your students are based on computer science being a practical subject. How many of you can go back to your college and check this part? How many of your first year students can create a very basic project, right? A simple calculator or a simple password generating game, a simple project. If you check that, now being the current second semester running in your college, and if your students or majority of them come back saying that they don't have that skill set, then we have a longer program, right? Now AI taking the jobs, technology coming in, etc., etc. You doing multiple things at your third year to get them trained better, to get them placed better in colleges, good companies, etc. But if they don't have the right mindset or skill set right from the first year itself, how will they be able to develop something in their third year? Right? So this is what Consortium is also trying to emphasize here. So right from your first semester, we integrate your curriculum with our content so that your students are learning exactly the same syllabus, but with the industry readiness, or we try to bridge that gap. Now here, what additional or how are we different is that along with this particular curriculum, say you have your basic programming language in your first semester. Along with that, we try to cover additional projects linked to that particular first semester. So you complete a basic programming language in your first semester, do basic projects. You are into a DSA, etc. in your second semester, third semester, do intermediate projects, and so on. So that by the time those first year students reach third year, you can bring in more maybe training institute to your company so that they are well trained on the advanced topic. Let's get out of the mindset of having them trained in the basic programming language, data structures, etc. in the third year. They have learned something in the first year, second year, etc. Let the third year training will be much more advanced than what they have learned. Now, how do we do this? So primarily, our objective, like I said, we do that by integrating with your labs. Now, as the majority of the representatives are the TPOs here, what you have, what we are offering for you is that a platform for unlimited assessments. So this could be assessments on basic topics, assessments on maybe a project building, assessments on previous interview questions, etc., etc. But you have the honors of creating unlimited assessment from your end. And second thing, we as a platform is designed for the general public. Hence, we have subscribers around the globe coming to CoachUp, subscribing, learning something. Hence, when you participate in our contest, which happens every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, you compete with the rest of the world. So that right now, when you say the CGPA is not an entry ticket, you need something else as an entry ticket. So you'll be able to explain your projects, etc., to the recruiter, to the HR, or your technical manager only once you get an entry to the room. So such profiling, the CoachUp profile, the star rating which you get on CoachUp is your entry ticket there. Hence, what we provide is that we take care of your academics So curriculum has been integrated with your current trend. So your students learn exactly the syllabus, but with the current scenario. Second, we want the training and placement officers to be part of the skilling right from the first semester, wherein when you learn basic programming language or DSA in the first and second semester, have basic problem solving check in the same semester itself. When it comes to second, third years, there will be more about your additional training or additional assessment that's happening in your those semester. For that, you have a platform. And third, the platform being hosting multiple global contests. Your students can compete people around the globe, and it will give you two parts. One, say being TPOs, when you are inviting a new company to your college, you can highlight the star rating that your students have from Coacher, and that itself says how good your students are. And with respect to that, you'll be able to invite more companies. Second, you know, based on a global scenario, where your students stand. And third, like I said, unlimited assessments, and all this done through project building. So I'm not digging deep into my presentation, etc., but I'll just give you an overview of the platform. So whenever a student gets when we are connected with a particular college, with your academic labs, etc., sure, that gets connected. Along with that, what any paid user gets is what your students also will be getting it. Like those who coming to the platform to get a subscription, same content, same features are available for all your students. May that be any particular programming language, etc. And then at the end, you'll be able to compete with people. And recently, we have started something called CoachChef Job Board, where there's a separate entity right now where companies are coming to CoachChef to hire. Now, this is a platform feature. So the jobs which are listed will be listed on our platform, which means not specifically for a particular college, but for general public. So here, when you're competing with people around the globe, when the jobs listed, you'll be able to compete and get recommended. These jobs are both for internships or like full-time employments. But with this, student, maybe a first year student, second year student who is participating in the contest would know what he or she would expect. So this keeps their expectations real, and with that they'll be able to train better. So just summing up my presentation, like I said, let's start from the scratch, right from the first year, first semester itself. Let's try to build that project building mentality so that later when you have an ecosystem for startups, etc., you have the right minds. And then rightly the sir mentioned, like, what did you like about this particular product? For that, for the student to answer such a question, they should have that product building mentality or a project building mentality. With respect to that, they'll be able to answer such questions in an interview. So in an interview, all the recruiters would want to know, sure, you have learned something, you have good CGP, etc., excellent, but where have you implemented it? Show me what have you built with respect to that. So that is what we want to bring in each and every college. And to do that, you want to do all these things right from the first semester itself. And hence, Coacher will help you to bring all those parts with multiple colleges that we are associated right now. With many successful examples, you'll be able to relate to. And yeah, so these are the current working examples that we are working with. So I see there are a couple of people who are already working with us. We have a star outside, so please feel free to step in. Let's discuss more. Thank you so much.
I request Hackboards to start the presentation. If any sponsor wants, is ready now for the presentation, or we can have it in Argo as well.
Morning. Good morning. A little energy I want because నేను కూడా చాలా అలసిపోయి ఉన్నా. I didn't have my breakfast, but still I want your energy once. Can you clap for me? Yeah, thank you so much. So this is fun. No, I was being in the field of two different segments for the last 2.5 years. I'm in the space of film and entertainment industry, and the other spaces like pharmaceuticals. So in these two spaces, what we do in the pharma industry, we automate the process of medicine manufacturing, and in the second way, in the film and entertainment industry, we give them a lot of technology. How many of you watch Big Boss? Yeah, so Big Boss runs on our software. How many of you watch something called Sai Kumar show into the body? So Manchi Kikkiche game show. What is it? Wow, yeah. So wow, Bommali is run by our things, and then this is our people who works with us. This is a platform where we are vendors for Kalamandir. So we have a AI system with them, and then there are 2 movies we have worked for, and then so these are the TV shows we work. And then, there's a gap we observe in the industry where the people are not able to understand the importance of robotics and all this stuff. So we came up with a solution of, giving, center of excellence in robotics and intelligent systems. So the biggest, takeaway for all the people here is that we are not charging one single rupee for establishing this particular center. 20 lakhs rupees, we are being sponsoring. Okay, next slide. So total investment 20 lakhs is completely funded by Hackboard's company. We put in the equipment which is required inside the company, inside the center of excellence. We will take care of training them for the next 3 years, and then we'll try to place them in the companies which we are tied up with. And if some college looking to establish center of excellence, I'm always open for discussion. So I think most of the people I'm already interacting with here. So I don't want to waste much of your time. That's the reason I'm not. So these are the client lists we have closed, and then we have 8 MOUs signed in multiple colleges, in and around AP and Telangana. And so this is what I was telling yesterday, right? So what is that? Adrak and Ilaichi. So actually this is, yesterday I was talking to people, I thought like, why don't I patent this or copyright this so that no one will use it? Okay, so then, I started, this is copyrighted, but someone wants to use this particular, example for your engineering colleges. You can, scan this QR and send a hi message with your name and your college name, and not just giving the copyright. That is just a fun fact I explained to you. What I'll do is, I'll give you a PPT through which you can explain to your students very simple language how the using meme languages. So yesterday, sir was talking about Gen Z kids and all. I'll give you a PPT by which you can able to explain the importance of AI and followed by robotics in a very simple way. And one more giveaway I'm giving it to you all, that how many of you are very, very vexed up with working for NBA and NAC here? The paperwork on everyone, right? So we have a solution for that to solve your paperwork for NBA, NAC, NRF, and regular activities. So someone who is scanning this, or I can take the number. It's just a WhatsApp link actually. Just send a hi message, putting your name and phone name and your college name. We'll get back to you soon, and I'm also available afternoon in Naraku. So I'm more than happy to have association with you. Thank you so much. So we'll have a small video, 2 minutes video. So a little of kind of stuff. We'll have that. So these are all the few products that we did for film industry and all. So this Bommali set and all, that is what we do. We are automation. So this is we also take sessions in engineering colleges for center of excellences and all. So the product development, we are completed product development. We are the vendors for Indigo Airlines in the COVID times. So this is a small thing that we do. So this is an animatronic model which we have given for Saksha movie. A small robotic prototypes that we do. We also organize hackathons. We are in the month of December. We are organizing one hackathon, which will be the biggest and largest hackathon ever happened on Earth. So that is the biggest, that we are also doing. So this is for COVID and all. So painting robot and small, humanoid robot, spider, Anusuya. This is a robot, So we also, we are in the two spaces, product development and innovation, skill development and all. So I'm very happy, to get associated with the AP TPS Consortium, and I just wanted to. So all our robotic, models are developed and designed by our own. We don't procure anything, outside. We always try to develop that things. No. Galgote is out of the works. So we start with very basics of training. So moreover we put it, training and on hands-on training we mostly do. So thank you so much, everyone. For doing this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My name is Mahan. So sir wanted to remind one more time. So I think I'm more well known for Adrak and Chai, Adrak and Ilaichi.
Please break for lunch. Make the things ready, whatever you want to pack. There are few buses who will go to Visakhapatnam. Those who booked the return tickets to Visakhapatnam, you can back to Visakhapatnam. Those who wants to join for Araku, sharply 2:45 after lunch, the buses will start. In the group, please check which district TPOs has to board which bus.